Hello and welcome to Streaming with Don Allen Stevenson III here on YouTube. Today we're going to be working on this. How do you make an avatar? How do you do facial rigging in a program like Cinema 4D and properly prepare that rig so that you can bring it into a program like this? This is Lens Studio. It's by Snapchat. And I'm running a full-on facial capture animation and full body motion capture is all happening right now from a single webcam running Lens Studio. The pipeline that you're going to be seeing today, maybe you don't have Cinema 4D, and I'm here to say that these techniques are the same across all 3D applications. So whether you're using Blender as your main one, or Maya, or 3ds Max, the principles that we'll be going over today are identical. They're identical. The difference is the name of things. So like Cinema 4D calls it a pose morph, right? They call it pose morphs, but Maya might call it blend shapes, and Blender might call it shape keys, but it's essentially the same kind of thing. And so we'll be going over that. And I'll show you how I rigged up. Well, this one I use an auto rigging software, but I'm going to be doing a manual rigging process on one of the Bored Apes. Oh, you said iOS spell correct? iOS spell correct. Full stream on YouTube right now, rigging AR avatar. Did I spell something wrong? I'm horrible at spelling. Maybe my avatar version of me will be a better at spelling, a better speller. Okay, so yeah, we're streaming live on YouTube right now, and yeah, this stuff is pretty wild. What's possible? I'll show you some more inspirations about what we're doing. You should definitely follow me on Twitter because that's where I talk about this stuff. Look, someone actually took a video. They actually keyed out the green screen. I thought this was so cool. They keyed out the green screen and then made it so that that became in and of itself like a way of doing, capture work. But like this was from an AR filter to then a green screen pipeline. That's just wild. Another example, let's see. This is the first test I did. We got about 34,000 views on this on Twitter right now. And this is walking around the apartment that I have in Los Angeles, where it is full body replacement, and I got my character walking around in there, and it's using an AI blurring technique to remove me from the background. And so that was kind of my first test, and it's working really well. And so now my next test is going to be with facial rigging. So see that I got my face working, and I can move my head, I can raise my eyebrows, I can even move my cheeks left and right. So let me try that. Yeah, and I can close a single eye or both eyes. So did some work to get this rigged up properly, and I want to show you those best in practice techniques for when you're doing your own characters and you want them to come to life in AR, you want them to work as visual effects shots, you want them to work in Unreal Engine. We got a question from Aaron, says, have you used RigNet? No, I haven't even heard of it, but I'm down to take a look at that stuff. Here's another example. This one I got working earlier with just the eyebrows of the character. And so we're going to be diving into that character. It's one of the Bored Apes from the Bored Ape Yacht Club. I really like the cheetah fur one. And so I'm going to keep working on that one, doing a lot more blend shapes and talking you through that process. I'm going to go ahead and move the phone here. It's just so cool what's possible with these tools today. So anywho, hopefully you're jazzed up. And if you want to see the end result, you should either just go to Twitter or Instagram. I'll post my end results, or you can just skip ahead to the end of this YouTube video and see if you like what we have. We are streaming this live right now, but if you're watching this after the fact, I wonder, can I see my props? I'm holding a cup right now. That's so weird. That's a real cup. That's not a CG cup. That's a real cup. I got this from Instagram, and then I'm gonna drink it right now and see how it looks with the facial capture. That I think we can do better with the interactions there. I might need to find a way to get props to work in front of my hand. But if I just hold a prop off to the side, that kind of works. But if I have it with two hands and then bring that prop to my actual real life face, it's going to occlude through that AI material that tries to remove stuff from the background. Okay, cool. So welcome. If you're tuning in on YouTube, thank you for being here. And let's just get right on into it. And make sure the audio is working out nicely. If you're tuning in, yep, audio is working out nicely. Okay, cool. So here's the thing. I spent a lot of time trying to get this to work. This character, I got it made from a website called Ready Player Me. And I'm totally going to share this secret because I want to see the metaverse happen. And so there's a website that you need to check out. It's called readyplayer.me. I swear you give it a single photograph of yourself and it will generate an avatar, all the geometry, facial rigging, and some body rigging. It does a lot. It still needs to be tweaked a little bit in another third-party program before it behaves like perfectly smoothly with other stuff. But it's a really, really good spot to start. And so you go into there. So I made a couple of avatars already in here that I'll use for different things. You can see it in there, and I can zoom out. You can customize. It feels like a video game. Right? So you can customize your outfits and stuff. You can go to customize look and literally like a video game, build out your avatar, and then you can download it and then use it other places. I can adjust skin tones and what I'm wearing. You could have different outfits, and this is a wonderful spot to start if you're just trying to you just need a 3D model. Maybe that's the first step. You just want a 3D model so you can start working on something. So I would say go to Ready Player Me, get a full on character going, and yeah, you can get all this cool stuff. Now for me, I just want to use this as my base just to kind of start. And then we have to do some work to clean up things inside. Yeah, it's called Ready Player Me. It's a really, really nice tool. You give it a single photograph of yourself, and then it can extract meaning out of that. And then it's giving you UV maps. You can start painting this. I could paint this whatever I want. I could change the way the hair came out on my face. But this is what I got out of the program, and I thought this was pretty sweet. So, anywho, that's the first tool we're using. And this is what I opened up in Ready Player Me. So it came with a couple of things. It came with my glasses that I chose, and it has this nice little geometry right there. And it also came with this full body. Now the body is broken up into about 9,000 polygons, so it's actually very lightweight and very good on performance on your CPUs. That's why it works so well in real time, because it's a very lightweight kind of model. And the last thing that they give you is all of the blend shapes. Blend shapes are what are required for all the cool facial animations. So if I hide the glasses real quick, I'll just show you how these work. Here's the mouth open slider. It's a percentage. So there's hundreds of these, but it's recommended that you get at least 50 of them. And basically you have to model your character in each of these poses. So this is like mouth smile, and here's eyes closed, and here's eyes look up, and here's eyes look down. And essentially you have to model out every single one of these. And once you do, you can then route these to any controller. You can route it to a phone running Face app, to essentially you can run an iPhone to do facial tracking and then control these parameters. You could run a motion capture suit to drive these parameters. You could take the distance and the dot product distance between any of your joints and have that multiply by a value to change your facial rig. But essentially, you need to make this thing. And that site, Ready Player Me, makes these for free for you. And it's great for a humanoid character, or for a human character. Yeah, even the blend shapes. Yeah, I did not model all of these. So that's what I want to show you today is we're going to be kind of doing a more manual version of this, a completely custom character. And it's the Bored Ape that I made. So let me see if I can find that. Bored Ape facial rigging test, not for commercial. Okay, this is it. So this is the Bored Ape that I made, and let me just get the quality of the textures to be up a little bit higher. So I'm going to go onto there, double click, and go to viewport, turn this up to no scaling so we get the 4K textures in there. And then it looks like the eyeball texture didn't come in here, so I'm going to go ahead and add an eyeball texture. I already painted the eyes in another program called Adobe Substance 3D Painter, so I'm just navigating to that directory where my materials are. There it is. There's my eyeball texture. I'm going to hit OK. Great. And then we're going to apply that eyeball texture to the eyeballs. There we go. So now I got my eyes in there. And I've already started to do some of the blend shapes. So what am I talking about? These are the blend shapes I made. Just a couple of them. So I made one for brows. Let me reset all the sliders. So here's my Bored Ape. And let me just make the menu smaller. There you go. So this is all the ones that we've made so far. I made brow up and down left. We have brow down and up right. We have both brows up in center. We have, what is the next one? Brow up left, brow up right. We have left cheek squint and right cheek squint. And we have eye blink left and eye blink right. And so if you want your characters to come to life, you need more and more and more of these blend shapes. So that's what we're doing. Oh, Zach says, this is the craziest live stream you've done so far. So inspiring to see all this amazing tech come to life. Thank you so much, Zach. I appreciate that. Isn't this cool? Because we can like drive a real-time character. Actually, Zach has a really cool character that they use in a lot of their content. I think you should definitely do this with your own avatar and bring it to life, and different things. I'm trying to drink coffee right now, so it just looks like I'm holding my hand. There we go. You can see the cup in my hand there. I'm going to drink from it in real life. Okay, delicious. I'll make it super meta. I'll place it here so you know that this wasn't done in post. So it's like a cup is here. I grab the cup, right, and then I lift it up, and then you can see it. Yeah, super meta. Okay. So what we need to do is add more blend shapes. And one that I screwed up, one was the right blink. No, left blink. The left blink, it looks like when I did the blink, I can see the eyeball, and that's going to be weird. I want to be able to not see the eyeball when I blink. So to fix this, we're going to go into the edit mode, and I'm going to choose left eye blink. Is that the right one? Yeah, that's it. And while it's here, I'm going to switch to the sculpting context, so I can use all these grab tools, make the brush really small. There we go. I'm just going to grab, I'm going to grab the model and just kind of pull on the eye a little bit. Oh, wow, it's not letting me move it. Let me try it again. Object, blend shapes, left eye blink. Can I delete this, or how do I overwrite one? Relative, disable, in places. I might as well just, I'll just do the left blink from scratch. So I'm going to grab this one and remove it. Okay, so now we don't have a left eye blink. And now I'll show you how I would go about making a blend shape. First off, it's nice to show on your lines so you can actually see your wireframe on top of your model. I like to do that. You don't have to do that, but it helps me to see the wireframe. And you can start moving stuff. And so I'm going to make a new pose, and I'm going to call this one eye blink left. Eye blink left. Now, pro tip here is that the names really, really, really matter here. If the names of your pose morphs or blend shapes or shape keys don't perfectly match the program that you want to drive the animation in, it will not work at all, and you'll be very sad. The end. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sculpt this eyeball into a left eye blink. And I'm just moving the points here, just like individual vertices, using a brush really to just grab them and move them all down. Trying to be very careful not to move ones that I'm not trying to move. And make sure I'm grabbing underneath the eyelid. And just getting in there to try to close the eyeball as much as you can. And so this is, it's this. It's really like every one of those faces has to be essentially modeled. And once it's modeled, then you're done. You could, your character will be able to be driven by that process. All right, cool. So I have a left eye blink, and then we want to test it out by dragging the blend shape. Awesome. And then I'll bring it back up to the animate tag. And I just want to make sure the left eye blink feels good. That feels great. Yeah, that kind of, oh, no, take it back. I forgot that part of the eye. So let's go back to edit, left eye blink. I'm going to turn up that value, and then maybe hold shift to maybe smooth out this section. But it's always a little difficult, to be honest. I mean, I've been struggling to move these points around I wish I could do this in VR. I feel like this might actually be easier to do in VR because then you could just like go inside of the eye and manually grab the points and manually close the eyelids. And I think that would be pretty sweet and useful. There is some tools that can do rigging inside of VR. One of them is called, I used it one time. It's just hard to use. I'm blanking out on the name. I don't use it enough to remember the name, unfortunately. But if you look up rigging in VR, the name of the application will definitely pop up because there's not a whole lot of people doing that at all. Okay, there we go. So I closed the eyelid. There we go. So yeah, the eyelid's closed now. And then if we go to the animate tab, we can try it on. Cool. So now we got left eye left blink. Sweet. The naming convention follows the Apple. No, I wish it did. So far, that's one thing that's frustrated me is every one of those companies uses a slightly different naming convention. Maybe they use a capital letter for the first morph shape. Maybe they use an underscore at the last end of it. Maybe they use the word mouth instead of lip. So far, I've always, when I've rigged an Unreal Engine, I've always had to go in and very manually adjust that parameter and all that stuff. If you want to know the list, here's the whole list. Here's all the things that you want to model. There's a lot of them. Brow down left, brows down right, brows up center, brow up left. These are all brows. Then we have eye blink left, eye blink right, eye down left, eye down right. You keep going down. We have jaw open, jaw left, jaw forward, up, eye right, lips pucker, lower lip close, lower lip left. You do all of these. This is a lot of work. That's why I'm not doing this for free for anybody. It's going to be a service. But I'll teach it for free because I want to make XR accessible. But if someone's like, hey, can you make me an avatar and make it work in real time for free? I'm going to be like, nope. Here's my YouTube video. Watch it yourself. Because it's tedious, but fun also. I mean, I'm enjoying it. Okay, so let's make some more blend shapes. So we have eye blink, blah 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 blah. Let's do some mouth ones. I don't have any mouth ones on this character right now, and I think that'll be a good one. Let's at least get jaw open. And what's cool is you can search for the thing. So I'm going to look up jaw open, and it just says, okay, so it's called jaw open and capital. This is what threw me off is all of the ones on Lens Studio came in with this capitalized letter in the front. But the ones that come off of Ready Player and Me are all lowercase in the front. So you will have to manually change all these. And so we got jaw up and jaw left. Whew, a lot of stuff. Okay, so let's do a jaw open. And I'm going to go ahead and look at the face. We're going to make a brand new slider. So I'm going to go to Edit. We're going to add another pose. And I'm going to call this one. Wait, where is it? There it is. I'm going to call this one jaw open. And with jaw open selected, we can, we're at 100% strength. I'm going to jump back into my sculpting tools and make a brush size, and we'll start opening up the jaw. And I really just want this to work mostly on the lower jaw, so this might be helpful to go into a side or a top-down orthographic kind of view. So I'm going to grab my model here and select some points. Awesome, and then we'll go to our matrix. Great, and we'll go to a side view. It's really hard to see that green color. Oh, there we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab all of the points on the left here. All the stuff that I think makes up the lower jaw. If we turn on, there's different ways to select in Cinema 4D. One of them they have is called pass-through selection, which lets you select things through the model. I think I have that turned on. Oh, I didn't have it turned on, so I missed all the ones on the other side here. So I'm going to grab all the lower jaw and subtract a little bit. I'm just grabbing all these points. And then with that kind of set up, we then can grab our move tool and move that lower jaw and open it up. We'll need to do a lot of refining, but I like to just try to block out where I want it to kind of be, and then we'll have to do some fixing. Since I'm going more cartoony with this one, I'm going to open up the mouth, the jaw of the character past what's normal, and then we'll smooth out the blemishes. So I'm going to grab the smooth modifier. I don't know why, but my brushes are so sensitive right now. Let me see. I don't know why they're so sensitive to scale. Like I touch the brush just a little bit and like it zooms out past what I can actually use. Okay, I'm just going to smooth out this difference here. And we'll do the same thing over here. I'll smooth out some of the UVs. So I'm going to smooth out the inside of the mouth now. And then I'm going to use the grab brush to kind of open up that jaw. And I'm also going to push the inside of the jaw back a little bit. And we can turn on symmetry if you don't want to, redo all your work. So I have symmetry turned on now. And now we can kind of, work in two areas at the same time, pushing the model into the mouth. And then I can hold shift to smooth it out. Again, this is for the jaw open pose. All right, we're going to go underneath the chin and also smooth out some of the vertices in there because we got some edge breaking. So I'm just smoothing out behind the jaw on both sides. Awesome. I'm going to smooth out that opening to the lip there. Then we'll grab the grab brush and just keep moving the jaw open. I'm down with the kind of cartoony, well, very cartoony style here. So I'm going to make sure we maintain that. I'm going to smooth out some of these sharp points so that the polygons don't stretch that much. If a polygon stretches a lot when you're doing this, you're going to lose a lot of resolution in your model. Oh, we got a question from Paul Gray on YouTube. Says, yo, bro, I got it working. Thanks for your tips on Twitter. Took ages to find all the shape keys. Oh my God. Yeah, that is so true. It is hard to find all the shape keys. That is not a friendly process, but if you're going to build a full-on character for like a collector that they want to be able to wear and stuff in their video calls, I think it might be worth doing it. But if you're just doing it for fun, maybe just start off by experimenting with ones that have blend shapes already made, or buying 3D models that come with blend shapes. Okay, so if we did all this properly, we were all on the jaw open. And so now we have one slider that can control the jaw open. Ah la la, ah la la, ah la 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 la, la la la. Just having fun here. Ah la 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 la. Let's turn off wireframe for a moment. And try that jaw open. Yeah, it feels like a pretty good jaw opening. And so what we do is once you make a pose morph, it saves it as a percentage. So if you're designing it at 100%, this is at the maximum jaw open, and then that's 0% jaw open. That's like at my neutral face. And so using this technique, you basically need to make one of these for every single parameter that a face can have. The more the merrier, but know that there's a limit of 51 of them. Just gotta stretch a little bit. So yeah, there's a limit of 51 blend shapes. I'm gonna get off the chair, move my body. Oh yeah, and that's a full body motion capture that we're doing right now with a single camera. How wild is that? All right, so we got a jaw open. Love it. Let's take a look at the next one on the list. Got jaw open. Oh, what's that? Not that. This is it. So we got jaw open. You just look up the jaw. All right, so now we need to do jaw left, a jaw leftward movement. Okay, so something I saw that was kind of cool is you can copy your poses. So I already have a jaw open, so I'm going to right click on it. And there should be a duplicate button that I'm not seeing. Where's the duplicate button? Advanced? No. I thought you would just right click on it and click duplicate. Oh, I see a copy. Try that. It's copy and then right click, paste. Yay, that works. All right, so I'm gonna grab this jaw open and then I'm gonna call this one jaw left. We're gonna grab jaw left and take a look at that 100% value. And now we're just gonna move that jaw to the left. Now what gets a little confusing is it's left from the perspective of the character. So I'm gonna turn off symmetry. So I'm going to go to my symmetry button somewhere. There it is, turn off symmetry. And then, man, I just don't know why my brushes are just super large like this. Let me see if I think I might be at a really weird scale. If I go to Alt-G, do they take that off? Or Control-D? Dynamics, project, motion, that looks all good. View clipping is medium. Let me set this to tiny. That might help. Maybe set this to small. And then we'll go back to grab the object, go to our pose morph. There's the pose morph, and we're on jaw left. Yes. And then I'll grab my sculpting context. And why is it not working now? There we are. Okay. That's a little bit better. I just had to change the scale of the scene. Yeah, you could do physics. Yeah, you can add physics to this for sure. Great question. So jaw left, I think, is the left of the character's jaw from their perspective. So they're left. So I'm going to make my brush size and then just move the jaw. I'm going to move the jaw a little bit to the left here. And another pro tip with facial rigging is making your brush size kind of small helps because you want to make little micro adjustments because there's so many muscles in a human face that we can, human faces can do a lot of very discrete movements. And so, it's tempting just to use a really big brush and try to move stuff into position, but you want to just do it so that ideally you just do little baby steps like this. All right, so just having a jaw left is helpful. Awesome. So we have a jaw left. La la la. Great. And then I think you can mirror stuff. Let me try this. Target. Nah, I don't know how to do that. Mixing. Tangent. No. There is a way to mirror a pose. I don't know how to do it right now though. I've done it before. Oh, and I made a mistake. We shouldn't do jaw opening and going to the left. It should actually just be the jaw left. Otherwise, it would try to add those values together. So I'm actually going to move the lower jaw up a bit here. I know it's going to sound kind of counterintuitive, but this is a mistake I've made. You really want to be very precise with what you're asking the model to do. So in my case, I just want the jaw to move left from a neutral position into a left position. And otherwise, if I also open up the jaw and move it left, that means when we're doing our facial animation, if the person was to actually open their jaw and move it to the left, it would almost double up the interpolation of the opening. And I don't want to do that. So this one should very strictly be just a jaw left motion. Okay, there we go. So that's a pretty jaw left kind of motion there. Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, so going from neutral to jaw left. I mean, it kind of opens up a little bit, so maybe I'll close it a bit more. Getting some weird polygon stretching here. I always try to go a bit more extreme on the poses since with stylized characters like this, since the end result is going to be like a human driving that face. So if I want them to hit a kind of cartoony expression, we would almost need them to we need the model to over express in this phase. All right, I'm having some troubles discerning polygon to display my polygon grid. Weird. Still acting up a little bit. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you don't want to show the inside of a model outside. Like these blue facing polygons are reversed, and reversed polygons have troubles having textures sit on them over frames. So I kind of just need to be a little bit more careful with the inside jaw here. Very hard to get the normal faces to face the right way for me sometimes. All right, let me take a look if there's any questions on YouTube. Cool. All right, so that's a left. Oh, I accidentally rotate my camera. I hate when I do that. Let me go to my camera and reset the rotation. There we go. Okay. So now we have a left movement, that lower jaw. And then we'll do the same thing. I'm gonna duplicate my pose here and click on Add Pose. And then this one will do a jaw right. So you just got to keep adding these. Jaw right. And then with the jaw right pose, we'll do the same thing as before. We're going to take it and use our sculpting tools. And I'll grab my favorite sculpting brush, which is literally the grab brush. It's the most straightforward one. And then make sure your geometry is selected. We're on our pose morph. And now we can start moving our jaw to the left. Start off big. I mostly just want to move the lower jaw left, but there would be some movement on the upper jaw if the lower jaw was moving left. And you're trying, at least for me, I'm trying to keep it as neutral as possible. I'm not trying to add any other expression. We're only trying to add just that left jaw movement. So we get that left jaw, and then we have, that jaw left. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, this jaw opens up too much, which actually might be fine. It might be kind of cool to add some asymmetry to the face. So we'll get some jaw movement there, and then we'll get some jaw left movement there. But that also would open up the mouth, which I don't really want to do. So in case that was the wrong call, let's maybe, raise up that jaw left a bit here. So we got jaw right and jaw left. Jaw left. Cool. Next on the list of poses. Close that menu. Where's the other poses? All right, so the next jaw thing we need to try is called jaw right, jaw open, jaw left. Oh, jaw forward. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and move the jaw forward in this next pose. So I'm just going to go back to our neutral default and then add a pose. Put it to the bottom here. We're going to call this jaw forward. And it is exactly what it sounds like. We go to a side view here. I will turn on symmetry for this part because that makes sense to have symmetry on in this context. I'm going to lower that brush size and then just send that jaw forward. And there we go. So we have our jaw forward. One thing to keep in mind is volume should stay consistent. So if your jaw's moving forward, that means it actually should also get thinner. This is the animation principle known as squash and stretch with CG characters. You want to try to keep the volume consistent when they are animating. So the way to keep the volume of the jaw consistent is if it gets stretched, it's going to need like longer. It's also going to have to be thinner to do that stretch. There's 12 principles of animation, and squash and stretch is one of them. So just by doing that, we kind of increase that volume so that the lower jaw can kind of move forward. If someone needs to enunciate with that kind of something, I don't know. Cool. Next on the list. Lip pucker. Lips compressing together while closed. Oh boy, that looks like a very complicated pose for me to do, but let's give it a shot. Lips pucker. That's the next pose in our facial rigging. So I'm going to make a new pose. Call this one lips pucker. P-U-C-K-E-R. Lips pucker. I'm going to grab the lips pucker and let's get in nice and close to the lips and make that brush size a little bit smaller. And then we're going to bring those lips together. Bringing those lips together for this pose. There's a brush in here called the pinch brush, which will be perfect for this. So I'm going to grab the pinch brush, if I can find it. They changed all the icons in Cinema 4D with the latest version, so I don't know what it looks like anymore. I'm not seeing my pinch brush. I use that a lot, so that's awkward. Where's the pinch brush, friends? Oh, there it is. That does not look like a pinch icon. Personally speaking, it looks like a scrape icon. All right, so with pinch selected, we can go to our brush settings. I'm going to increase the strength of the pinching and reduce the size of the pinch. We can't. Oh wow, it won't let me change the size very much, huh? Okay, forget that. We'll just go back to the grab tool. I just have to be really precise here. So I'm just puckering the lips together. I don't really know what puckering, because like is puckering the lips like a kissing face? Because if so, we need to make sure the lips kind of come together so that when we blend into that pose. So right now, I just feel like the mouth is like lips are sealing here. I guess that's fine. Let's see, lips pucker, does that count? Lips compressing together while closed. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, next one, lower lip close. Jitesh Singh says save stream and files. Oh, I'll definitely be saving the files. This is actually for a product. Yeah, it's not, the knowledge is for free, but what I'm making is not. Drinking some water here. Got my Instagram mug in real life, and then I'm going to drink it behind this avatar. Good, good, good. All right, so next one is lower lips moving towards and behind upper lip. Oh man, I don't want to model that. Lower lips moving forward. Wait, lower lips forward. Oh, I see. Lower lip closed. That's what that is. Wow, you can track all that? Jeez. So basically what you're seeing on here is all the different facial expressions that Snap Camera can read. And if you make a new model for each of these facial names, you'll be able to drive that in a character rig. You don't need to have all of them, but if you want realism, you want more of them. But some of the most essential ones are the ones I've covered so far, like eyes blinking. You know, I can blink my character right here. If you look at me on this side right here, look at me right here. So I can blink with this one, right? Blink, blink. And also I have my jaw movement, so I can move my jaw left and right. And I can open my mouth. And I have my eyebrows that will go up when I'm raising my eyebrows. I'm trying to switch my face around. So it does work to have more of them together. Hey, what's up, Buna? Good to see you on Instagram. We are currently live streaming to YouTube. I'm showing about how to face rig this character. So yeah, it's working out. So thank you so much for solving it. We have jaw open here. We have our brows down left. We have our cheek left squint. We have our jaw. We have our jaw right. We have our jaw going left. We have our jaw moving forward and back. And yeah, I'm just going down the list and adding some of the easier ones to the different pose morphs. Hello, CG Cake. Welcome. Good to see you here on YouTube. This is very fun. I'm streaming as a VTuber that we made with Ready Player Me, and then I'm showing you how to build a custom character that we modeled in ZBrush. Open the face expression template and check the all poses from it. I think this is all of them, right? This should be all of them. This is from Snap's website. It says, Lens Studio expression names used with the face render object provide a get expression weight by name and returned by the face object provider to get the expression names. So, yeah, we're just going through each one of these. Or I'm not going to do every one of them. I'm just doing the ones that I want to be able to drive my board ape with. So I want more mouth opening stuff because the mouth is such a big part of this character that I want there to be more than just open and close. So I'm going to search for the word mouth, M-O-U-T-H, and now we're filtering just the mouth parameters. So we have lips move together. Oh, actually, that's what I should do. Mouth close, lips moving together. That's kind of what we just did for the lip pucker. I'm just going to call that one mouth close. Take it back. So that's just a mouth close. Yeah, so I'll say that we have modeled that one. Cool. What's another one? Static mouth dimple left. Left mouth corner, back, and leftward movement. Wow, that's so specific. Left mouth corner, back, and leftward movement. Okay, let's try that. So I'm going to make a new pose by clicking on Add Pose. And on that Add Pose, we're going to double click on it. I'm going to call this pose Mouth Dimple Left. L-E-F-T. Mouth Dimple Left. So I'm going to select Mouth Dimple Left. We're going to turn off symmetry from our sculpting tools. Boom, it's turned off. Make the brush size smaller. And I'm just going to move the left mouth to a dimple, I guess. I don't really know exactly what that means, but let's just go with it. Wait, is it the whole mouth that would do that, or is it just the left corner? Let me see. It says left mouth corner, back and upward movement. Okay. So not side. Bad one. So we want to go back and upwards. So that's back, and then that. Wait, no, messed up. Try it again. Oh my God, I'm accidentally editing left blink. Crap. Let's undo that if I can. All right, so lips pucker. We're leaving that one alone. And then we were going to add another pose called Mouth Dimple Left. So I'm going to click on Add Pose. And then we're going to call this one Mouth Dimple Left. With that selected, they said that a mouth dimple left is a backward movement and upward movement of the left mouth cheek. Kind of looks like a half smile. I like it. Great. We're going to make another one. And we can slide between that value. That'll be cute. And then we'll go ahead and add another one. Add pose. We're going to call this one, you guessed it, Mouth Dimple Right. I spelled right incorrectly. I spelled it wrong. R-I-G-H-T. We're going to grab Mouth Dimple Right and do the same thing. It's a backwards and upwards, a back and up movement of the lower left jaw or mouth thing. Great. We got mouth dimple left, mouth dimple right. Next one on the list of 50 is static mouth left. Both lips, leftward movement. Both lips, okay, gotcha. Both lips, leftward movement. Easy. That one's called mouth, wait. Oh. Oh, no, no, no. I looked at the wrong spot. Oh, no, I'm good. Oh, we are on the right spot. I highlighted it in blue. So this is mouth left. Both lips leftward movement. Oh, CG Cake, you changed your name. You're Pete. I know you, Pete. Copy and paste the names to avoid typos. You're right, I should be doing that. What am I doing? Yeah. Well, actually, that's what I did before. You're right. You're totally right. Let me just do that. Is that easy? Oh, yeah, it is. Thank you. Saving me this trouble. So many troubles couldn't be found if I wasn't doing that. Okay. So let's do mouth left. I'm having trouble. It won't let me select the text, so I'm just going to highlight it manually, copy it, make a new pose, call this one mouth left, and then they say both lips left, right? So I'm just going to go, just kind of move the snout to the left a bit here. Oh wait, that's right. Sorry, I'm thinking of the characters left. Try that again. Add a pose, mouth left, and we'll move the centers and corners and that, because that's the character's mouth movement left, or lip movement left. Cool. Yeah, that's mouth left, and then I'm guessing the other one's mouth right. Yeah, I'll just type that in, mouth right. I'm gonna have to go through and rename all these manually again anyway, so it's fine. All right, I'm just gonna move this to the right. Keep in mind, you always want to keep your volumes consistent. You don't want to stretch something past the volume that it can afford. So that's mouth left and that's mouth right. Cool. Hey, can you all do me a favor and share this live stream on YouTube, on Twitter, and tag the Bored Apes Yacht Club? I think that would be helpful for me. And you don't have to do it because I'm going to keep making this content anyway. But if you're feeling like this is energizing and inspiring and you're getting motivation, you could use some of that inspiration to help me with my own goals, which is to get the attention of the right folks who need to see this. And by sharing this YouTube video link in your Twitter account and saying, Don is streaming this right now, you are directly helping me with my goals. All right, enough of that little ad break. Back to it. Another pose that we have to do is, we got mouth right, where's this? Mouth right, mouth. Okay, the other one that we should add is, frown. I forgot to add a frown to my current face. Yeah, my character can't frown right now because I'm usually happy all the time. I didn't even think about frowning. But maybe you're feeling like frowning. I'm going to make it so you can frown. Static mouth frown right. Right corner downward movement. It's so simple. Okay, you got it. Mouth frown right. I will copy that name if I can. It's not letting me highlight it. It's a link. It's weird. All right, let's make a new pose. Mouth frown right. And that's the right movement for the character, so I will just move that right corner down. So sad. Oh, so sad. I'll be dying in your arms tonight. I was listening to that song earlier today. Okay, there we go. So that's mouth frown right. Let's take a look at the blend between. That looks good. Let's do the next one. Let's add a pose. This one's mouth frown left. And same idea, we're just going to grab that corner and actually I stretched it out a little bit too much. Let me try there. And what's fun with a stylized character like this is you can exaggerate because no one's mouth moves that low when they're frowning, but it's a character, it's a CG character, so we don't have to abide by any laws of physics. Cool. I might do one other thing to make the frown emphasize a bit more. I might move the lower lip up a bit. It's a little bit more disgruntled. I'll do the same to this one here. My arm's hurting. Give me a second to stretch. Shake it out. Boy. All right. Water time. Okay. Next thing on the list. Oh, we got some questions on YouTube. Let me take a look at some of the YouTube questions. We got one from Jitesh Singh. Says, Luke, to answer your question, I think you should have tail as another mesh with an armature and animation, and have two different prefabs having the tail pinned to the mesh. Let me see, what was Luke? Wait, I missed the question. Oh, Luke says, sorry, I tried asking this earlier on Instagram, but I kept getting lost in the chat. But would it be possible to add a tail to the model as a separate object that swings or is animated to? What a great question. And that's so funny. I was actually thinking of doing that. I was going to add like wings or something to this character later, or a tail, or a robotical Dr. Octopus robot metal tentacles that can be from the back or something. But what I was thinking, so yeah, you can do that. So how you would do that is you would model that thing, give it a set of bones, and bring in that prefabbed object separately, but then tie it to the hip joint in Lens Studio, and then run a chain dynamics down the hierarchy of your tail bones, and then the motion. I guess we could do that. Wait, let me see. Do I have an example of that? That will take me a little bit to set up. I don't have a good example that I'm allowed to share yet, because I'm actually doing a chain physics thing for a customer right now, but I definitely have not gotten a green light from them to share it with the public. So I don't have an example I can show from my own work. No, let me see. I don't know where. Basically, it can be done. The main principle is you would want to bring in that object separately with the set of bones, and then you could parent it to the hips of your current tracked character, and then run a dynamic simulation by clicking. There's a tool called Chain Physics Template in Lens Studio. You could use the Chain Physics Template as a guide, and then replace it with your rigged tail, and then rename each joint the same joint name hierarchy as the one in the template. And then when you hit run, it should work. You should have physics on a tail that is tracked to the body, which would be really cool. I would love for you to do that. Oh, we got some questions coming in here on Instagram. Let's take a look. Owen Carmona says, hey Don, is it possible to use body mesh and a face paint in Lens Studio? Body mesh and face paint. Yes. Yeah, that's actually how I drove this character. Where do I have an example? Oh, okay, I'll just show you on Instagram here. Instagram. Where is it? Don't read my DMs. They're secret. I'll show you. I did it a couple weeks ago. This one here uses both of those. So we used a face paint. So Paige Piskin did the paint and the makeup on this one. And so the face mesh in here was using a real face mesh and then we could paint onto that. And then the body mesh, I used a full body mesh to map my Ariana Grande Fortnite skin onto my Boothang, Keenan Spencer. And so it is possible. You can totally do that. You can have a face mesh with paint attached to a 3D body mesh. And then we use the same 3D body mesh is actually hidden in here. I used it as an occluding material so that when the person turns around, you're not seeing what was supposed to be on the front of the dress through the body. So you can turn those on and off to make it so that stuff sits in the right three-dimensional space. So yeah, great question. Oh, didn't mean to shake it back. There we go. Great question. I love when the questions are deep, technical, and specific. Super helpful, and it helps me see where your heads are at too. We got some questions on Instagram saying, from Buna says, You have a hologram helmet. I remember that you added chain physics on it. Oh yeah, I do have that too. That's a good example. Great call. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I did chain physics here. I made the legs of this little pig character. I made the legs have physics so that as the person moves their body, it will delay the movement of the bones in the pig's tail and feet. Let's see. Is there another chain physics I did lately? This one. Yes. So this one I used chain physics on the little weird lightning bolt looking things coming off my head. Each one of those had about 8 bones, and then I basically ran an upward force and a little bit of turbulence, so that it kind of makes it look like electricity. And then we had it glow, so it looks more like a lightning bolt. I might have another chain physics example. Let's see if I have any recently. Chain physics. I don't see any here. What was I doing it for then? Oh, dang it. I hate when I'm doing a project that I'm not allowed to share. I totally have an example. I just no permission to share it yet, so I'll have to hang tight on that one. Yeah, I don't have any other examples of chain physics that I can share. Drats, but I will soon. I'll follow up with them and be like, hey, can I share the project now? I really want to talk about it. Okay. Back to it. What was I doing? Oh yeah, we're still working on this Bored Ape and creating more face shapes and stuff for it. Oh, we were on the frown. We were just on the frowns. Where are the next face shapes? Okay, let's do the next one. We have mouth left. Oh, we did that. Mouth right. Both lips move right. Okay, we did that. Mouth smile left. I have not done that one yet. So I'm going to copy that name. We're going to make a new pose and then make that the same name. That's mouth smile left. And then that's the left of the character's mouth. And a smile is an upward and backwards movement of the lip left corner. I don't know why that doesn't really feel like a smile. Let me see if I go a little bit wider, make it a little bit more grinny, make it a little bit more dimpled. Big cheesy laugh. Big old laugh. You look at that smile left. Adorable. Okay, let's do the same thing. We'll copy that name convention, add a pose. Give this one another one. Mouth smile right. Smile R-I-G-H-T. Mouth smile right. Cool. Mouth smile right. Same idea. Make them smile. It's really, it's kind of counterintuitive to think of a smile as like a left corner movement as one and a right corner movement. But the reason why the posing software wants you to do it this way is to allow people to have a range of facial expressions that they can deliver on these platforms. Some people smile more with their left, like that, or the right. Wow, I need to work on this face. It looks really weird when it smiles. Yeah, I don't like the way that my avatar is smiling. So I'll probably need to fix it doing exactly what I'm doing right here, but with the original, the raw file of this thing. Okay, so yeah, that's a smile right. And let's take a look at it going in and out. Oh yeah, it looks like a smile. Yeah, that works. Great. Let's keep it coming. On to the next. On to the next pose. Pose. All right, next one. Smile right. We did that. Oh, what's this one? Mouth stretch left. This is a left side of the mouth, left upward movement. Interesting. Left side of the mouth, leftward movement. Okay, so there's no upward movement. It's just a leftward movement. Left side, left movement. Interesting. Oh, because it's a stretch. We're just stretching the face. I mean, I like how specific they are with this, but sometimes I take it too abstract. I just need to take it literally here. So they just said mouth stretch left. It's very straightforward. Copy that name convention, add pose, give it that same name, mouth stretch left, and we'll just do exactly that. I'm just going to stretch the left side of the mouth here. Maybe not the teeth though, so maybe I'll make the stretch a little bit shorter radius. There we go. Maybe a little bit more. Great, let's do the same thing to the other side. Add pose. Pose, pose, pose. Another pose. Do you think I can play that song and not get a copyright flag? Because all we're doing today right now is literally just posing. All these different blend shapes. Right now, we already have quite a lot of life in this character. Like, even with these ones alone, you know, we can have a pretty nice performance. Ooh, that one looks awful. What the heck happened there? Oh, that's hair. I'll leave it. That'll be funny for someone to discover. If they move their jaw left, it's going to really screw things up. The jaw right is accurate. And then eye blink left is good now. Cheek squint right is good. Yeah, okay. Let's keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Let's take a look at the next pose on the list. Mouth stretch left, mouth stretch right. We have completed those. The next one would be, what is it? Mouth, no, we got that. Mouth up left. Left side of the mouth, upward movement. How is that different than a smile? Oh, because it's not the corner. It's the whole left side of the mouth. Interesting. Okay, left side of mouth, upward movement. Yeah, I didn't know how that would be different than a smile, but I guess that's it's very similar to a smile. Or it's not the corner, it's the whole left of the mouth. So let's go ahead and add another pose. Pose, pose, another pose. Let's put the mouth over here. There's so many mouth ones now, which is great. I wanted us to have a lot of mouth controls because the character has such a big face. Mouth, wait, mouth up left. Ah, can't select it. There you go. Mouth up left. I mean, the names say exactly what they need to be. It's an amount of commitment to doing this. All right, mouth up left. So let's take the left of the mouth and just move it up. Like that. Is that what they're talking about? Kind of looks like he's like, Cool, that works. Mouth up left, and that means there needs to be a mouth up right. So let's do the same. Add a pose, and paste that name. Give it the next name, mouth up right. Mouth up right, and we'll just do the same thing. My favorite is jaw open. Yeah, because that's the one that people are going to see right away. One thing I do, when I'm having somebody test an AR filter that I've made, a lot of developers may look at the screen of people when they're having them test stuff. But what I do is I look at the faces of the people when I show them stuff. I want to see exactly where your eyes go. I want to know what do they do with their hands. I want to know what do they feel like they can do and what do they feel like they can't do. And one thing I've noticed with every facial rig that I've made, the very first thing that people do is they open their mouth. It's like, I don't know, it's like instinctual. You show someone a character and they see, they first sense that the thing is them because as they're moving, relative to the phone, their head moves. So all of a sudden, within about, a nanosecond, they identify themselves as that thing. And so then as soon as they have identified themselves and they know that that's them, the first thing I see them do is open the mouth. So what this means for us XR developers is you want to make sure that your open mouth pose is special, it is delightful, it is surprising, it is expected. It's a lot of expectations, but think about it, this is the first 1 second that someone experiences your fashion, or your character. And so you want to make that moment actually resonate with them. Because imagine if the first pose they did was jaw left. So if they take their jaw and they move to the left, they're going to see this really weird break happen here. I don't think people are going to do that first. In fact, I know they're not going to do that first. First thing they're going to do is open their mouth. And I'm really happy with the jaw open pose because I know that's what they're going to do first. Ah! And you want to make sure that, it works. And that totally works. They're going to open their mouth, and then all of a sudden the surprise is going to happen. They're going to be like, oh my God, that's me. Wow, I'm the creature that you made. And then they can start, and then the ideas start happening, and then the creativity sinks in. They can start actually exploring a story, or a lot of them start making sounds, which is kind of fun. So if you put someone a filter and they embody a character, the user expects that they should, it's really fun. I love sharing the filters with kids, like with my friends' kids, if they're nearby, and showing them a filter that I've made on Instagram, because it's so insightful to see what do they do first, second, third, fourth, fifth. And I love when they immediately feel like encouraged and empowered to perform. A lot of them, like as soon as they see themselves as a character, they're like, whoa, I can do anything. And it's the cutest thing to see. And yeah, that was a little pro tip, pro insight for those that are tuning in here. We're midway through the stream here. We're working on blend shapes. We started off with about 10, and now we have a lot more than 10, mostly mouth stuff. So just to kind of remind people, what we'll be doing once we have a pretty good number of these is I'm going to bring this character back into Lens Studio and then swap out this character, which you see right now, which is me. I'm going to swap out my avatar me with the Bored Ape version that we just rigged, and I'll show you how I'd go about fixing things up. One thing I screwed up with is eyes. I need help with those, but now I'll probably learn how to do that tomorrow. Eye tracking, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it yet, but I trust my ability to learn. I'll learn it tomorrow or the next day, but definitely not next week. I'm going to learn it like ASAP because I want to be able to have this character looking around. Let me save my work in case something cracks. And we'll save this into Bored Apes. I'm going to call this fully working rig. Look at how many tests that we did, by the way. There's just so many tests of me failing, and that's an important step. I fail every single day 1,000 times, and then afterwards I get a result that I'm proud of, and then I share that with the community. It might look like I don't make mistakes all the time, but that is far from the truth. I mostly make mistakes. You just see the end thing usually, unless you're in the streams. Then you see the mistakes and stuff. Okay, we got some questions popping up on the Instagram side. So let me take a look at Instagram feed real quick. Let's take a look on Instagram and answer some of your questions here. What we got here. We have Creations by Demand says you should really exaggerate the nose blend shape since it's such a big feature. Ooh. Okay, yeah, I don't know what nose, I haven't actually looked at the nose parameters, but great call. I'll take a look at the nose parameters and see if we can add some nose stuff to our character. Buna11 on Instagram says, there is a video tutorial from Lens Studio. They have explained it perfectly. I think that was referencing the eye tracking, so thank you, Buna. I will take a look for that video on YouTube on how to do the eye tracking. I just can learn, I just have a kind of a couple of goals in my head per day, and then I try to do them. Another pro tip that I'll share with you right now is I try to learn a new skill every other day that would put a past version of myself out of work. Every other day I try to learn a new skill that would literally put the past version of me out of work. And if you do this every other day, then you're always going to have work, and you don't have to stress about stuff. Because if you're always putting yourself out of the work, then you'll stay up with the competition. But if you're not taking active steps to put a past version of yourself out of work, then technology and people are going to pass you by, because they're going to keep developing, they're going to keep learning, they're going to keep growing and adopting new tools and adapting to new ways. So that's a little pro tip. Please keep learning skills to do stuff that the future version of you can't do yet, but the past version of you certainly can't. Okay. All right. Going back to the comments here on Instagram, Creations by Demand says also could be cool to have the nose scrunch a little when it opens / closes the mouth. Oh, that's a good point. Well, how much does your nose move when you talk? Can you feel your faces right now in real life? When you talk, like do like all your letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. I mean, I feel like the movement is mostly on the nostril flaring part for me. A, B, C, D, E. It's really subtle though, I'll be honest. I don't really feel much. My nose doesn't move too much when I'm talking. So I don't know if I want to do that. See. Oh, you mean the eye rotation? Oh yeah, definitely show me how to do the eye rotation if you can. That'd be sweet. All right, back to it. Let's look at our list. How are we doing? How are we doing on the list? Again, I'm not going to hit every one of these. I'm not. I don't think I need to. I think the surprise and delight that people will have from just hitting even one of these is going to be special and important for them. I don't have to hit every one of these. All right, next one, puff. Both cheeks puff outward movement. Oh, that's a fun one. Let's do that. A puff gesture. Both cheeks puffing outward movement. It's literally just called puff. All right, let's do that. So we'll go to the cheeks and we'll go to add pose. I'm going to call this one puff. P-U-F-F. And for the puff cheeks, we're going to use the inflate brush. Great use case. We'll inflate it. Where is the inflate? There it is, inflate. And I'll turn on symmetry. And we'll just tap to inflate. I don't know why that song from SpongeBob is stuck in my head. I didn't even hear it today. It's the Tying Your Shoe song. It came out of nowhere. Sorry about that. Cool, let's take a look at the puff. Cool. Oops. Great, we got a puff gesture. Next. Oh, we got a question on YouTube from Jitesh Singh. Asks, the lip puckers when we puff our faces, right? Yes, good observation. The lips do pucker when you do that. However, in Lens Studio, they keep lip puckering as a separate control for some reason. So I have my lip pucker here. So the lip pucker will happen. And so it'll basically be like this. Actually, I can show you what happens if we put two of them at the same time. So let me refresh all sliders. Okay. So if we did a lip pucker, where's lip, 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 there's lip pucker. We did lip puckering. And if we added a percentage of puff, we'll get that appearance. But it keeps those as separate controls in case there's a situation where you can puff out your cheeks, but your lips don't come together. But we do have a lip puckering right here, so boom, and then we can merge that with the puff, and that will give us that facial expression. How cool is that? Because that's actually the whole magic. All of these poses are percentages of each other, and while you're talking, your face is doing all of these things in different percentages and at different rates. So what we're doing really in, you can do this in Blender, you can do this in Maya, is we're creating all of those maximum and minimum values for what a control can be. But all these controls at the end of the day are going to be driven by the wearer, the user, the player, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what this one, I do not like my jaw over. That looks super weird. I might delete that one. But I'm just showing you each little one here, just showing how the different facial expressions work. And I think the amount that you can do up to is about 51. 51 blend shapes is, I think, what is supported currently on iOS. They'll probably continue to add more though. But 51 different facial expressions is a lot. And also, you can do sentiment analysis on people from this. That might be the little bit of scary information is, you can learn a lot about someone's intentions by measuring these things with accuracy. I'll let you deal with that knowledge. Okay. Jitesh Singh says, we can't puff without lips joint. Let's see. Is that true? Yeah, you're right. I can't do it. I can't puff out my cheeks without puckering the lips. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess I don't know. It's currently set as two things. The reason why I'm not going to do that though is if I did add a lip puckering effect to the cheeks, it would multiply it whenever the lips come together. And then if we multiplied this percentage, the two lips would intersect each other and not look good. That was the first mistake I made when I first started doing facial rigging, was I would make a whole expression the whole pose. So like I would make a whole slider that was like smile, and my smile slider would move your cheeks, it would move the skin underneath your eye, it would adjust the stretchiness of the jaw. And so I thought a smile was all of that. And then when I routed it into Unreal Engine and plugged it in as my smile percentage, it made some hideous expressions because it was multiplying and adding values on controls that didn't need to be added. Because like a smile to them is, controlling the left corner and the right corner as two separate controls. So if you had a smile face plus the other one, you'll get a really creepy, disturbing smile that is off the model and maybe even off your intentions. I made that mistake too many times before. So now I'm listening only to their guidelines, very verbatim. I'm using the exact name that they give me, and the only thing I'm changing is what they describe the movement should be. Because I know for a fact that if you try to do two movements in one, they will overlap each other and create some awful intersections that will take people away from your experience. They'll kind of be like, they'll make fun of your experience and be distracted by the glitches, which are fun. I like glitches as a developer. I love them. But I know if you're trying to pitch this to like an older company and you're trying to use their intellectual property, for example, I won't name who I'm doing this for, but there's a couple of movie brands that I'm working with that have given me their assets to movies that are coming out. And they're not cool with showing a demo where the face breaks. In fact, if you did that, I think that's a good way to lose the job, because they're like, oh, this looks like garbage. We're not working with that contractor. Get out of there. So I'm telling you this because these guidelines say exactly what they want you to give the data. And if you go above this or beyond this, by all means, do it. Add a doubling effect. But know that certain clients hate that and you'll lose them. Other ones don't care. It's all over the place. Oh, you said save my work. Oh yeah, let's save my work. Thank you for reminding me, Buna. Boom, we saved it. Thank goodness. That would suck to lose. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. About 29, almost 30 different expressions that we've sculpted. I wouldn't want to lose that right now. That would be kind of frustrating. Let me see if there's any more that like really stand out to me that is really important. Whoa, not that. Where is it? There we are. So other facial expressions that I think are really important. Oh wow, we're actually near the bottom. Oh, I skipped a few. Upper lip. Oh, that's interesting. Upper lip raise. I don't have that. Sneer left. Oh, there you go. This is the nose stuff you're talking about. Sneer left is left nostril raising. That's cute. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do a left nostril raising. That's cool. I don't know why I'm so into left nostril raising. It's my new hobby. I'm into left nostril raising. Yeah, I raise nostrils to the left. It's my new hobby. as a facial rigger here. Okay, let's do this. We're going to add another pose. Go to Edit. We'll click on Add Pose. We'll call this one Sneer Left. And with Sneer Left, we're going to turn off symmetry on our sculpting tools because we only want the left side to be affected. So I'm going to grab my sculpting tools, turn off symmetry, make the brush size a lot smaller, zoom into that left nostril. I'm all about left nostril. And then we're going to go to our Sneer Left and just raise it up. Bam. Shablam. Bada bop boom. Pow. Whoa, I moved the eyeball there. I don't want to move the eye. Just want to move the left nostril. I'm also trying to keep volume. I want to keep mentioning that. I try to keep volume for pose morphs. What I mean by that is the volume of your model shouldn't really change that much across poses. That's a rule. You're welcome to break the rule. Actually, no, here's the thing. I'm actually all about breaking rules. That's how you grow and innovate. You have to break rules. But I think it's better to break rules once you know what the rules are. And one of them with animation is volume. It feels really abstract when volume breaks on a model. And it's one of those things that people aren't going to notice like consciously, but they will notice it subconsciously, and it will affect how they interpret your quality and your performance and all that stuff. So when I'm moving something, I want to keep the volume kind of consistent. So there we go. So that's left. That's Sneer Left. Sorry, I'm just getting into the into character. Okay, I'm having fun always. Jitesh Singh says, "Oh, new information. Thank you." What was the new information? I forgot. Cool. All right, let's do right sneer, or sorry, sneer right is what it's called. It's just a. Oh, I missed it. I didn't move the slider that time. Let me try it again. Hilarious. Is this program free? Definitely not. This is Cinema 4D. They do not have a free model. So what I want to suggest to you is Blender. Blender has a tool called Shape Keys, which is just another name for what I'm calling pose morphs. And you can use Blender for free and do facial rigging for free. There's a great amount. There's so many tutorials for you. Swarley on YouTube asks, is Cinema 4D free? And the answer, unfortunately, is definitely not. So for the folks that are trying to get into facial rigging, get Blender. It's the right choice for starting. And actually, to be honest, I know my friends at Cinema 4D won't like hearing this, but it makes more sense now to use Blender for more things because it's so accessible that it's becoming a standard. So like, yeah, something to think about. They made it so accessible that it became the standard because people couldn't afford Cinema 4D. So that means the lifespan of Cinema 4D is probably shorter than the lifespan of Blender, just because one chose to have a little bit more greedy business model than the other. It's the truth. Okay, so this is right sneer. I'm trying to keep that volume in there. You do the loop-de-loop and pull, and your nose is looking cool. You go over and back, left to right, like bunny ears or a Christmas bow. You zip them up and you get ready to go. Doop 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 doop. Doop 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 doop. It's called the loop-de-loop. I watched a lot of SpongeBob as a kid, and as an adult. And your shoes are looking good. All right, cool. So we got nose snarl there, and we have the other one, which look good now too. There we go. So we got left, and we have the right. Oh, we got some questions that just popped up on YouTube from Blake from Blake Wyrick says, what attributes do you have checked in your pose morph tag? I am new to the pose morph. Me too. Let me see what I have checked. I don't even know. Oh, that's weird. Don't do this. Don't check the ones that I have here. That's actually incorrect. The ones that you should have are just points. Point. I did P, R, and S for position, rotation, and scale because I'm used to baking out P, R, S data when I'm doing keyframe animations. So that was like my habit. But I think it's safe to just do points. Points are just the vertices. When anytime any edges meet at a point in space that is a vertice, that's a point. I think all you need is point data. I don't know if unchecking these while you're doing stuff is going to break stuff. I hope it doesn't. That would be hilarious for you and frustrating for me, but not that frustrating because I'm mostly in a learning mode right now. I'm trying to learn this because I gotta say there's a lot of career opportunities opening up in the XR space right now, and everyone's going to want an avatar and not just the default ones that they'll be able to get from free tools. So that was like my other secret reason of trying to do this whole non-human character is to show that you don't have to, you can have a custom avatar that doesn't have to be human at all. And you can still control it with your human expressions and stuff. All right, great question. But yeah, I recommend just checking the points in the attributes tab. All right, another question just came up here on Instagram from Exaya ×2 says, how to make exclusive AR avatar, like only your client can use it. Okay, check this out. I have an idea. I've only done it for a couple folks so far. So here's how it goes. In Snapchat right now, you can create private links. So you can make it so like only people who have the filter shared to them can use it. And what you could do is make them pay a substantial amount of money to get that code. And then when they'll be a lot less motivated to share that code with other people because that means they could use it and they didn't have to pay. So that's the first one. Charge a client for your charge the client to give them an exclusive link. That's one option. Another one, which I haven't said out loud yet because I haven't tried it myself, but since we're a growing community, if someone else can do this before me and then tell me what you learned about this, that would be super sweet and informative. Is actually, wait, hold on. Let me double check that this is public. Okay, hold on. Snap. Oh wait, I'm not going to say out loud when I'm searching because I need to see if it's public or not. Give me 1 second. Don't read when I'm typing. Okay. Hoping it's in here. Okay, I'm not seeing it on a public search, so I can't talk about it yet. Dang it. I like being partners up with everybody in the AR space, but they make you sign these NDAs, and I don't want to tarnish my relationships with any of them. So whenever I'm about to talk about something that I think might be private, I always research if it's public first. And I can see that this is not public, and therefore I'm not sharing it because I do not want to lose those contracts. I'm trying to be a good role model in business, but also be a good educator. So I'll share that when I get the chance, but it's not public yet, so I can't talk about it without jeopardizing my jobs. So can't answer how to make it more private. Creations by Demand says Cinema 4D is still superior in countless ways. I'm with you on that. I agree. I love Cinema 4D. I'm so much. I just wish I wish they had a better free option to make it a good learning tool. In fact, friends at Cinema 4D, you sometimes tune in to my live streams after the fact. So if you're hearing this right now, how about you build a free version of Cinema 4D that people can use non-commercially so that they can make really nice educational content with it and then get familiar with the tools. And then maybe make an intermediate priced one that has a few features that are lost, but it'll allow people a shorter barrier of entry, and then offer them the full Cinema 4D that I have right here. Do you ever use Houdini? Yes, I do use Houdini. It is super great, very powerful. But I'll be honest, out of all the tools that I've learned over the years in the 3D and immersive space, Houdini is by far the hardest thing I've ever learned. And even the folks at DreamWorks, no one knows all of Houdini. And these are people that have been working with Houdini for like 20 years. And they don't know, they're learning new stuff in Houdini every day. So it's the hardest program out there, in my opinion. Far harder than Unreal Engine. It's a whole nother class of itself. I don't even put it on it's like the top of my list. It has the steepest learning curve, but it has the most output. You can make the most amount of stuff out of it. So I guess that's fair. Okay. We did the nose sneering. Let's see. Is there any other sneers? Upper lip close. What is that? Upper lip movement towards and behind the lower lip. I don't want to do that. That's messy. I don't feel like doing that. Okay. I think I have enough stuff in here to just start rigging this in real time. In the just showing you how I would take it out of this program and then literally get this working and replace it with my current avatar over here. Okay. So yeah, let's do that. Let's make this thing really come to life. One thing I screwed up on, but now learned from rigging today, is the eyeballs should be separate objects from each other. Otherwise, they can't move independently. So I'm going to go to my eyeballs. Where are they? Oh, I call them sphere. They're just one object. It's silly. Also, I don't know why they're pushed outside the head like that. But ignore that fact. And I'm just going to separate the eyeballs into left and right. So let's take the first eyeball here and select all of its vertices and edges somehow. Let me go to standard and then grab our modifier. All right, so that's right eye. So I'm just going to copy it, delete it, paste it in place. Oh, it lost the texture. Oops. Sorry, I think my connection dropped for a second. All right, so I lost my eye texture somehow. I don't know why it lost it, but it did. So I'm going to try to reapply the skin texture. Is the eye backwards? Okay, I don't know. I screwed up the eyes. I screwed up the eye. I don't know what I'm doing with the eyes yet. I'm going to undo that. I'm focusing on learning eyes later this week, not right now. Okay. But I'm really happy with all these blend shapes that are in here. We have plenty to work with. So what we want to do is delete stuff that you don't need, like the Cinema 4D camera. Don't need that. And I'm going to display our regular shading. This one has the full body rig. So this one, we have the ability to move our entire body with this particular one. So I'm just going to show you that, for example. I can go to like the spine here and go to spine 2 and can rotate it. You can see that it's actually all rigged. All the muscles and stuff should work properly. And then now from what you saw in the live stream today, is we have the face blend shapes. That data is in here. We have the face rigging. So sweet. So what I like to do is just save it, and then we're going to extract it out of here. Oh, I'm missing a bunch of comments. Sorry about that. I was not scrolling on Instagram. Let's see what I missed. Also, the guy who you are constantly asking for help. And do you ever use Houdini? Yes. Xavier says, thank you. You are the best teacher. Oh, wow, thank you. Creations by Demand says, do you know a lot of linear algebra? I know none. I'm horrible at math. That's usually what I hire for when I need help with a really advanced effect. Like game designers, I hire them when I do filters that involve code, because I can't do it. Creations by Demand says, one of my friends is a Houdini wizard, teaches classes for it, and has made me want to get into it so badly. I know Houdini is one of those tools that when you see what people can make with it, It's so compelling. It's just like, it's vast. And once you get like, I think if you got like a 30 hours, if you spent 30 hours in Houdini, you can make something, you can make some pretty cool stuff. But like 30 hours is, that's not a small commitment. That's a real commitment, I think, to software. But if you can put 30 hours into it, you'll be able to make a lot of stuff by yourself. And Xavier says, you already said about private links. Is it available for a desktop lens camera? It's not so much that it's a private link. It's that, oh no, it is a private link. I see what you mean. Yeah, this works for lenses in the Snap Camera app as well. So you can make it so that you have the choice of making it public, or actually, let me just see what it looks like on my screen. Because I can make any of my existing filters. I could swap them out. So I'm going to show you what it looks like on the back end. Actually, wait, let me double check if I can do that. Give me 1 second. My lenses. I don't know how to spell anything here. Okay. So, okay, yeah, I definitely can't show you this view. I'm so sorry to do that again, but let me see what I can share in here. Damn, yeah, I can't show the screen. But it gives you two options that I can talk about. One is public, hidden, or offline. So any person creating a lens on Snapchat can make their lens either public, which means all Snapchatters can find and share the lens. They can make it hidden, which means only the users with the Snapchat code or the lens leak can view the lens. Or you as a creator can make it offline, where no one can use the lens and the snap code is deactivated. And that's all I can talk about at this time about that. No more further questions. Just get in now. Just get on it. Start making stuff. It'll be fun. I pinky promise. Okay. Oh, hello, Scooter Dodge. Greetings. We're just about to bring this character into Lens Studio, so we're about to move into that phase right now. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We have a pretty warm, welcoming, and educational community here. A lot of technical folks are in the stream and watch the stream after the fact, so feel free to ask away and connect with people in the audiences. These are your peers. These are the folks that are leading the XR revolution. These are the ones that have, these are the minds, the thinkers, the coders, the developers, the creatives. They're here, so make friends. All right, so what we're going to do is go to File, Export. I'm going to export this as a FBX file, a .fbx file. Here's the settings that I've been having success with. I don't totally have the answer to this yet, but feel free to zoom in on YouTube and screenshot it. This is what I've been using for this exact character. But sometimes you change one thing in here and it breaks everything. So just, I don't know. I don't have the answer to this yet, but this is what I've been using that seems to be working today. I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to save this into my Bored Apes and save this under fully working rig, because this one should be fully working. I'm going to call this one fully working stream with face stuff 1. Very long specific name, but yeah, whatever. Save it as an FBX file. Cool. Now we're going to open up Lens Studio, which I already have open. I'm actually in it the whole time. Surprise! No surprises. You knew this was happening. All right, but I'm just going to move it over here. So I got it working for my own avatar. I'll be using this for all sorts of new stuff in the future. But for now, let me just save this, because I'm still going to do some more work on my own avatar, because I got the glasses. I couldn't get it to go behind my head. I'll fix that later with an occluder. But for now, it was like, it gets across that glasses are being worn. So I just left it. Okay. Cool. So that's saved. I'm going to go to File. We're going to go to New from Template. And the template I recommend you use is called Face Expressions. And it loads up with a character right away that you can start driving. And that's how I made the one that you saw in my Instagram earlier today. So here we go. This is what it starts off with. This is a free template that comes with Lens Studio. This has whoever made this is a really skilled modeler because it's very clean topology and all of the blend shapes are fantastic. And they also show you all the blend shapes. Look at that. They show you what the percentages, actually I'll zoom in here on Instagram. It's a little hard to see, but you see, so if I get up close to the camera here, I'm just go ahead and move the screen. You see that it's showing you all the percentages of the blend shape. So you see how it says eye, blink left. Oh wait, I have my eyes mixed up. Right eye, no, left eye. Right, and then eye blink right. So you see how all of these are being dialed all the time? That's because human faces are super emotive. Look at me moving my brows up and down, up, down with my brows. Or we can go to the jaw stuff. Here's the jaw left. You see how it works? So everything that we just made today was all of this stuff. We made all those blend shapes. And you absolutely need those if you want to drive animation from a face, because it needs to know what does a mouth left look like with your character and what doesn't it look like. Let's keep going through. I'll show you another one. Let's see. Oh, here. Oh, it's got lips pucker. So you see how it works? So what we literally spent all that time building was literally every one of those controls. And what we do with this face expressions template in Lens Studio is swap out their thing with our thing. And then we run a bunch of other AI tools to get to work on the body and then do replacement of the background so that the body disappears. But that's that's more advanced, and we'll do it. We'll do it. Well, I'll see. I haven't streamed that part exactly because I've had mixed luck with it. But here we go. So step one, we got to find that FBX file that has all of our blend shapes and the completed rigs and the proper name conventions. So we did all that. We're going to import that in. So I'm just going to look around for where that lives. I already forgot the home I gave it. Let me find that home on my other screen here for privacy reasons. Okay, found it. Bored Apes, and this is the fully working rig. I'm going to drag that FBX file. You can either drag it to the resources panel down here, or you can just drag it right underneath the character that you want to replace it with. So you just drag it right onto the thing that says character expressions replace me, and then release, and then hit import. It's going to take a couple seconds depending on your computer's processing power to process your character. But I am rocking a very powerful computer here, so it looks like it just happens right away. But if you don't have a powerful computer, it might take a little bit longer. And right away, you're going to see your character is moving with the head of your body, which is kind of cool. But what we need to do is adjust a lot of these things. So first off, this pink body that you're seeing was an invisible layer that I had turned on in Cinema 4D that I forgot about. So I'm just going to clean up this file by deleting stuff we don't need. So I'm going to grab that pink body. It looks like that's called, let's see, which one is that? Is this guy? Or which one is it? Character, fully working rig. I don't know which one this is. It's not the sphere. Wait, where's the sphere? What sphere are we talking about? Meshes. Oh, wow, we have all the meshes. I don't know which one is which, but we'll just kind of have to turn stuff on one by one. Okay, so that's all of that. So it's in the null object. It's under default. It was brow down left. All right, I just got rid of it. So now we have our body and our character. Next thing we have to do is resize our character to fit the scene better. So I'm going to go to my transform controls and scale up my character, or maybe I'll just scale it. I'll just scale it here manually, holding shift to move it in increments of like 5 and 10. And then I'm going to move the body down so that the head is kind of aligned with the other one. And now you see how I made that post earlier today. It was really I just brought the body in because it was before I understood how to do the facial rigging. But I'm going to basically try to get the head of this character to be in the same. Whoa, that's cool. Oh wow, it's another character altogether. Hilarious. Didn't know you could hold shift in move in increments. Thanks. Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, the shift increments, that's a big one if you're spending all the time in the world in here. Wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? Let's go to no simulation here. Okay, great. So next thing is I'm gonna hide my character face and hide the eyeballs. So now I just see my character, but we don't see anything working. And it's confusing because you see stuff, it's reading facial expressions, but none of them are working on our character. So you want to first make sure that your character even has the pose morphs that came with it from either Blender or Cinema 4D or Maya. So to find out if it has it, you jump into your model, jump into the actual default body, and just make sure that these work. So that it does work. So I can see that it has the ability to move the brows. It has the ability to move the cheeks. And we want to make sure it can do this. Yeah, so it looks like everything looks like it's working properly. Great. So what we need to do is go to our character expressions and swap out our mesh component with the new mesh. So this was the character face that came loaded in with the template. We're going to replace it with our default geometry. And now it should be driving some of your character performance. Now the reason why I say some and not all is because naming conventions really screw with you here. So what do I mean by that is it seems like it's getting smile right, but all of my jaw open is not working. So what we need to do is make sure that our mesh, oh, he says, so cute, love the head models without noses. Nice, man. Oh, wow, thank you so much, friends. Thank you a bunch. Didn't know you could hold shift. Oh, yeah. So now what we got to do is basically go back to our character expressions, and then I need to click on customize expressions. This is what Ibrahim Buna helped me find, is if you have the wrong names, you can fix the names inside of here, but these names have to match the names that Lens Studio wants to see. So we just got to fix each one of them. So I blink left. Looks like that's not working right now. I think it has to be a lowercase e. Now my eye blinks. See that? And then we do the same thing here. I blink right. I don't think that worked. I blink left. I blink right. I don't know why that's not working. Not really seeing an eye blink there. Let's go to the brows. I think these are supposed to be lowercase b's. And essentially, you just have to play around with the names and make sure that every one of these names matches your pose morph names. And if they don't match perfectly, it doesn't work at all. It's like an all or nothing. There's no kind of. So what I usually do is I just try to open up my pose morphs tag on a separate screen so I can see how I exactly named it. And then if you're lazy, you can just copy it from your 3D program, in my case, Cinema 4D over there. And I just gotta find the equivalent inside of Lens Studio. So let me go to lips, open up lips, look for the lip pucker, and then I'll replace it with my lip pucker, and now that should work. It's a little light. So if you notice that your blend shape is not coming in too strong, you can actually increase the strength of your blend shape inside of Lens Studio by cranking up that scale amount and then clicking away. Now my lips can start to come together when I press them. Yeah, so that's working. Let me go ahead and do it again a little bit wider. There we go. So now if I really pucker my lips, it really closes the mouth. Now let's go to my favorite one that I was talking about, the open jaw, or jaw open control. So I'm going to look up jaw, looking for the J's, We got brows, cheeks, eyes, jaw. Let's go ahead and open up jaw. And then under the jaw, there should be a control called jaw open. There it is, jaw open. It's looking for a capital J open. And what I need to change that capital J is to a lowercase j. And then now I can talk and the mouth will move. Ah, ah, ah. I think you're getting it, right? You're totally seeing how this works. It's very straightforward and also very punishing. It's like both. um, it says, Paul Gray on YouTube says, "Oh, dude, we can edit expression controllers in JS, right?" Yeah, I think you can do that too. I don't know JavaScript, so for me, in order to edit the code, I need to have a little parameter like this because I'm like a baby with coding, a newborn baby with coding. But yeah, if you're familiar with coding, you can type in the same metrics in JavaScript, and I think it should work fine. All right, so we're going right back to it. Let's see another one. I want the nose stuff to happen. We worked on those nostrils. Let me get those nostrils working. Where is the nostrils? The nostrils are not the jaw. They're not the eyes. Not the lips. Not the mouth. Oh, I guess they're part of face, maybe. Okay, yeah, there's face. So let's do sneer left and sneer right, and then let's see how they spell it. Oh, it's capital. And then I don't see it working. And I don't see puff working. Why isn't, I don't see my puff. Yeah, puff's not turning on. I don't see puff working. I don't know why. Huh. What's interesting about that is those ones are spelled the same exact way. So that's extra weird. Let me just type it again, maybe. Yeah, I'm not seeing the mouth puff. Xavier says, I want to apply to TikTok filter creator role. You just realized your TikTok filter. Could you please give us some tips? You just realized your TikTok filter? I don't think I understand. You realized your TikTok filter. Realized? I don't know what you mean. I don't know why my nose won't move. We made a blend shape for the nose. So, did I spell something wrong? Sneer right. Let me copy that name, paste it in here, turn on advanced. That's weird. I'm gonna maybe refresh it. I don't know why. We should be able to see the nose move now, but I don't see it moving at all. Yeah, I don't see it moving. I think she meant released. Oh, you just released your TikTok filter. Could you please give us some tips? Oh, post your TikTok filter. So same idea with being fully transparent here. Only thing I've been allowed to mention about TikTok filters and doing it for them is to go to this website. So what they told me, if anyone asks, it's effecthouse.tiktok.com, and then actually yours will look different than that. Ignore this; it won't look the same. But yours won't have a download button. You'll have it'll say apply or something, and you apply with you sign in with your TikTok account, and then they have you fill out an application. They will then a human will read this application, and then based on that, they will decide, I think, to grant specific people access. So that is all I can mention. You got to go to effecthouse.tiktok.com and apply there. They will have a lot more information coming out on their website, but I can't really share much more than that for now. Yeah, hopefully that kind of helps. I know that's like a dodgy kind of way of answering the question, but I like doing stuff. I like getting early access to things, and if I break the rules that I agree to, that's not cool. All right, so I'm going to do mouth stretch left and right. There we go. So now I can move our mouth left and right here. Awesome. Let's do mouth right. And then let's do mouth smile left. Oh, there we go. Now we can smile. Yay. Because I'm always smiling. Oh wait, I cranked up the smile too strong. Left smile is way too strong. Let me turn it down a little bit. All right, I think that's a little bit better. All right, and then let's get my frown working. All right, cool. I get the mouth is totally working now. Wish the nose would work though. I really wanted to see the nose do its thing, but it's definitely not. Oh, you said close Lens Studio and reopen it. Oh wow, thank you so much. I would not have done that actually. So let me just save it and save it under fully working. Make a new folder. Call this live stream tutorials. File name working. Okay, so I'm going to save this. So you're saying close Lens Studio and then reopen it. Wow. See, I'm so happy you're here, Buna. I don't know what I would have done there. I would have just kept poking at it. Oh wow, it's working already. I saw it. I saw the nose move for a second. Okay, I'll just restart it, like what you're saying. So close Lens Studio, and then I'll reopen up Lens Studio, like you're saying. So I really want the eyebrows to come to life too. You said maybe nose depends on other facial expressions. Oh, gotcha. That would make sense too. It's like a combination kind of thing. Paul Gray says they were not able to get Puff to do anything either. So maybe we can route Puff to something else. Maybe we can route it to lip pucker. All right, cool. So, I mean, a lot of this is working. We can smile, we can move, we can emote. Let's grab the cheeks. Let's turn on the cheeks. Turn on left squint, left and right. Let's make sure that I'm spelling it the same way. Ah, look at that. These silly underscores. I'll just keep them. All right, it looks like that's working. I'm going to crank up the squint strength. It looks like it's working. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Daniel. I appreciate that. Smiling. You can see my smile. Okay. Cool. I'm just moving on my jaw. Let's go ahead and try to get the brows up and running. Brows. Oh, I see. So we did brows down left. We have brow down right. We have brows up center. I'm just copying and pasting the name because that's what Buna told me to do, and it worked before, so it seems to be working again. Yeah, now we can move my brows. Woo! 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 Let's keep it up. Brows up right. Awesome. Awesome. And let's try some jaw stuff. Do we ever do jaw? Oh no, we did. So let's do jaw left. And we'll do jaw right. There we go. Cool, it's working. You're doing a partnership with Bored Apes? Nope, not yet. But this kind of stuff is how I've gotten partnerships with people before, by showing them what I would do and just doing it without them asking and not making any money directly off of it. And then they see it and they're like, oh my God, I need this. basically create a solution to a problem that they didn't have yet. And then they hire me for the problem that I already solved. It's worked so many times that I figured, let's do it again. And also, I noticed a lot of people have been using their avatars when they buy a Bored Ape. They're using it as their for in place of themselves. They use it in their profile photos on Twitter and on Instagram. They make clothing with it, so they can wear their Bored Ape on their shirt. I've seen people put it as watch faces, and so all of that suggests to me that people want to become the artworks that they are buying and owning on the blockchain. And I feel like this is the perfect application in AR to do that. All right, next we got jaw forward. Did we add that yet? No, we didn't. Let's go ahead and add jaw forward. Jaw forward, place that there. I don't know if that worked or not, couldn't tell. Lips. We didn't really do much of the lips, to be honest. I skipped out on the lips. We just did lip puckering, but we didn't do lip up close, lip up down, blah, 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 blah. What is this? Upper lip to the left? I don't think we have that either. But I thought we had frown. Let's see if we can do mouth frowning in case I become a sad Bored Ape in this character here. Freedom of form. All right, let's do mouth, dimple, left. So let's check that on. Where is it? I lost it. Blast. I wish I could do all the phonemes, like the word ooh. I don't really have a mouth shape for the word ooh. Ooh. Oh. I can do O or ah. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I was trying to find the mouth and toggle on frown left, frown right, and dimple. Dimple, mouth, frown, and where's dimple? There it is, mouth, right, dimple. Okay. And then let's grab mouth, dimple, right. Great. And let's do mouth, dimple, left. Copy that. Awesome. And then let's do mouth, frown, left. Mouth, frown, left. And mouth, frown, right. Turn up the strength of the frowning. See it working. I don't see frown doing anything. Mouth, frown. Yeah, I don't see it doing anything. That's weird. Yeah, I can't be a sad Bored Ape. Weird. It's only letting me be happy. It's not helping. We need some time for mourning. Oh, Daniel provided a tip in the comments. Says I couldn't get the puck to do anything. Oh, I don't know what that's about. Smile right. We did that. Okay, we've almost done all the controls. Let's do sneer right. Yeah, it kind of works there. Yeah, it looks like when you move your mouth left and right, it moves the nose now. Cool. Just because it's freaking me out, I'm gonna place the eyeball with the texture because I don't want the glass to overlook at the moment. I would like to have the eye texture that I gave it in there. So I'm gonna go to the material responsible for that under texture materials, under body materials, and that should be matte number 1. And then we're going to replace this with a base texture that I have loaded up in here from my files of an eyeball that we painted in Adobe Substance 3D Painter. And now we have eyeballs. Great. Oh, whoa, I can't blink my, my left eye. What's up with that? What did we do wrong there? Let me look for my object responsible for blinking. I blink left. Oh my god, did I not add an I blink right? Oh, there it is. Oh, it's just, yeah, um, bad spelling or whatever, bad naming conventions. Yep, that happens with me. I'm not very precise with typing things, so that is where I'm weak. I will continue to make these kinds of errors for the rest of my life, but I can make tiny improvements every once in a while. Okay, I blink right. I blink. I blink right. Where are you? I blink left, and then I blink right. There it is. I blink right. There we go. And it looks like the blink is not all the way, so I'm going to increase up the strength of the blink. Cool. All right, so it looks like that's working. Working. Oops. All right. So right now the face is tracking really well, but right now you can see the body is not tracking at all. So I'll show you how you get the body tracking. To get the body tracking, it took a few nights of this, of course, but now it's faster and simpler. Let me just save the Lens Studio project first. All right, so the way that we track the body is a little strange. What I was doing is we go into this plus object, and I've been adding a new object tracking 3D called 3D body, sorry, full body tracking. Boom, step one. Step two is you need to drag this model that you currently have bounded to the head. We need to drag this fully working thing into our matched hierarchy of the body. So I click on match hierarchy, and we need to feed it the right file. Oh wow, just says search. What did I do wrong there? Match hierarchy. Oh, there's no hierarchy. Okay, sorry. We have to move our prefab under the 3D body tracker. So that means we're going to lose it for a moment, or more than a moment. Let me see where to go. Sometimes I did this and I had to I lost the body. So let me see. I might need to move it up. Okay, there it goes. So now I can see my body. It's tracking to the body, but it's not tracking fully. So I need to kind of manually adjust. I don't know what angle it thinks it needs to be at, but I'm going to just try to match it as closely as I can to where I am right now. Or maybe I'll just zero out the X, Y, and Z positions. So 0, 0, 0, and then zero out the rotation. And then just keep the scales to exactly 1. All right, so that looks like it's at the wrong angle. Oh, that looks good. Okay, great. And now we go to 3D Body Tracker. We click on Match Hierarchy and choose our prefab and hit OK. And now it should be tracking both. Now, the thing to keep in mind is the facial tracking is only going to work up close because the face details are much smaller and it's looking for very small things. Because as I start walking away, I'm going to keep my mouth open the whole time. So go, ah. So you probably saw that the mouth starts to jitter and close as we get far away from the camera because the AI tracking model learned faces up close. It doesn't know what faces look like. It doesn't know what a mouth shape looks like from too far away. It's less. Its predictions are more all over the place, which is why you get that jittering. Anytime you see an AI tracker get jittery, it means it doesn't have a good prediction. It doesn't know what it's going to be like in the future. But this should be working out fine. So we'll be walking around, moving our character, driving the full-on animation. Right? So this totally works. So yay. Last step is to remove ourselves with AI. So let's do that. Oh, is there any questions that are coming up? The track list tracking is already impressive, right? I know we don't have any dots on my face right now, and we're not even wearing a suit. And yet, we're getting face and body tracking that sticks pretty well. And we got to turn around with it. You see where it starts to lose its prediction is in poses that it hasn't been trained on yet. So it doesn't know what crawling is like, because I guess that means that people must not be crawling a lot on the Snapchat camera. Yeah, I mean already this is great. Creations by Demand says, are you going to fix all the blend shapes? Maybe. Maybe. I say maybe because my goal here was just to get the concept out, to get the attention of the clients, and then this is kind of like my hook. And then if someone bites the hook, then I want to spend that extra time on a paid client, to really help them out with their goals. And I think that makes sense. So this gets me enough to pitch with, enough to get attention of the right people, and then I can give a lot more love and attention. Imagine if I spent like 24 hours doing the blend shapes versus 20 minutes, and the amount of detail you can get, it could be really, it could be a big deal. Okay, so last thing is AI body removal. So so that you don't see my silhouette in tandem with this. This one was a weird one for me. I needed help from both Kevin, who made a really great tutorial on YouTube on how to do this, as well as Buna, who shared with me a technique. So the way I've been doing it is I go to the asset library, and they made a new material in here called Eraser Post Effects in Painting, and click on Import. This is generally better tracking prediction than using kinetics some years ago just with AI. I know, it's so wild, right? Because that means the prediction model is going to get even better, and we'll get even more accurate pose estimations, which that means better output. Okay, so we've imported the eraser post effect material, and then we need to create an orthographic camera. So I click on the plus sign here and I click on camera. We go to my camera settings, I turn on perspective camera, switch it to orthographic. And then we need to switch the default layers. So I'm set this to an orthographic layer and turn off the default layer so that it's not affecting our model. We only want this to affect the pixels coming out behind the model. Last step is we grab our AI eraser material. It says put into the orthographic camera. It says put in orthocam. We drag this eraser prefab and drag it into the camera. And that's going to erase your head. And what's cool is you can erase all different parts of your body. You don't just have to erase, your full body. If you want, you can make something where maybe you erase the body, and because you want to put on like a Spider-Man uniform, but you want to maybe see the head of the person in real life. So how you swap that out is this thing right here that says mask texture. We can click on this mask texture and hit the plus sign. And these are all the different types of things that you can currently map out. They have the ability to do segmentation of the background, segmentation of just the hair. Oh wait, bad example. Oh, you have to hit OK. So now just my hair is being segmented out. So if I wanted to have like my brain, if you wanted to see my brain and I put like a 3D brain right here, I could have it, occlude properly. Or maybe you want to go inside the head. You would basically model the top of a head, put whatever cool stuff you want in there, and then after you've erased the top of their head, and you can see how it breaks. So like if you start to put your hand behind it, it's trying to blur that data. So it's trying to remove the hair, and then it tries to blur whatever is going behind it. So that's kind of how it works. It's doing what Photoshop has been doing for years, where you, in Photoshop, this was called, oh my God, I'm blanking out on the name. What was the name of this tool in Photoshop? Anyone remember? In Photoshop, this was called, it's masking. No, it's not masking. It's, God, I'm blanking on it. Spot healing. I think it's called spot healing. So there was a spot healing brush, and it would essentially do this, but now you can do that in real time. So that's portrait hair segmentation. We can, content aware fill. Thank you so much, Paul Gray on YouTube, for answering that. Yeah, so in Photoshop, there's an effect called content aware fill, and this is essentially doing a version of that in real time. It's probably not the same as results as the content aware fill in Photoshop. It's actually higher results in Photoshop, but the fact that this can be done in real time on a smartphone running Snapchat, that's pretty wild. All right, so I'm gonna hit that plus sign and then choose a different segmentation type. You can do portrait skin. So now it's just gonna remove my skin as much as it can. And then it's gonna try to keep my hair. So this would be great, if you're, excuse me, I don't know, if you're just trying to create some different effects. I'll show you another one. You can swap this out with a different environment texture. I'm going to do, the one I've been using for all these has been body. That's been everything. You can do upper garment segmentation. You can do the sky. Maybe you want to put something cool in the sky. You can do that. So I'm just going to use body, hit OK. And now my full body is hidden. And it's really good. You can kind of see my shadow, but this is without anything in here. And now I'm a shadow on the wall. So I could get a ghost. That's really creepy. I'm like a ghost right now, wearing a camouflage. And it works really well if you're not moving around. As soon as you stop moving, you see it gets very good at removing you from the shot. And the moment you start moving, you can start seeing the ghostly effects of the AI trying to remove you because it's changing shadows and stuff in your environment. All right, last step is we need to change the hierarchy of our layers. So I'm going to move my orthographic camera to the top of my layer stack. And then I'm going to go to my eraser material and set the layer to default. And now we're done. Now I can drive my full character animation, hide my body, and have real-time facial capture all in one shot. Ta-da! So, hey, if you thought this was super helpful and you learned a lot, please tweet out the YouTube video. This one that's being live streamed right now on my YouTube channel. You can find, if you don't know what my YouTube is, if you're watching this on Instagram, my YouTube is linked in my bio. So if you go to my bio at the very top of my Instagram account, you go to the link tree, it says YouTube. It'll take you to YouTube without typing in anything. You just tap on the YouTube thing. And then if you could share this tutorial in either a tweet, an Instagram story, or if you make a reference to it on TikTok or LinkedIn, any of those platforms, just a single mention like, hey, I just learned how to make a real-time avatar, custom, drive it in Lens Studio in real time, just kind of sharing it out because I don't monetize the educational content. What I monetize is the partners, the speaking gigs, the clients, and the consultation that I do for individuals. And so those are the folks that I'm trying to reach because that's how I can afford to make this content for free and make it accessible. Already, I'm hoping you get all sorts of ideas because now you could be anybody, you could be anything you want. And if you don't know how to model and rig and surface, you can also just buy those things online. You can buy them on TurboSquid or through Sketchfab, and yeah, there's a lot of options. But this is literally how the whole thing was made. And soon they'll be adding better finger tracking. Because right now I don't have finger tracking turned on. So my hands are kind of like in this perpetual rested state. But you can actually do finger tracking in Lens Studio now. Very accurate finger tracking. So you see how my hands, I can move my wrist, but I can't actually, I can't bend my fingers. I think that's coming, they just keep training better. They just keep having better and better models. So you get finger tracking, and I'm guessing with enough time, it's just, there's so much stuff you can do. I hope you're getting the bigger picture now. Creations by Demand says this is an iconic moment. Yes, I feel the same way. I do think this is an iconic moment. Look at if I can move the camera and stuff, I can literally move in the webcam, and it's still doing its best to track and keep me in place. It's not locked off. We can take that camera and bring it with you on Snap. I could make a whole bunch of personas. I could have different personas that I represent as an avatar, and then when I want to communicate a certain thing, I can use that. All right, last thing for fun is lights. Here's all the lights that I set up in the scene. Right now, you see how there's a nice orange light on the side of my character? This orange light coming from over here. We can swap that for any color. I'm going to make it pink because that's one of my brand colors. Look at that. Now I got this pink light coming off the side. And then I have a blue fill light in here. I'm going to make that maybe a little bit of a yellow-orange. So this goes pretty deep. The possibilities. We can also take the light and I can rotate it. I can take that pink light, I can rotate it. I can rotate that pink light so it comes off maybe more of the front, or maybe I want to create a rim light, maybe have it come a little bit more from above or from below. Now it's glowing pink underneath me. This might be great for some of the Halloween filters that you can make. Maybe you're trying to make something spooky, so you maybe set it to a green glow. I can turn down the lights in my room here. It'd be woo-hoo. We could have some green potion in front of us. That could be kind of cool. A lot of possibilities. And this is only the beginning. Can you just imagine what 2031 is going to be like 10 years from now? If this is possible today, it's going to be wild. Really, really wild. I was wondering how you added that faint blue light on the characterized model of yourself. Oh yeah, that's another one I can show you. Let's see. Let's turn on purple light, and I'm going to rotate my light real quick to the side here and put it behind me. So I kind of like the side light. Let me bring it back to the side here. Actually, pink doesn't really make sense. The real light that I have in here is actually kind of yellow-orange. So if I match the lighting, it even makes it more realistic. Yeah, that works. Maybe I'll make it a little bit more saturated. Pull in some of those orange hues, hit OK. All right, so you can also add glow effects. These are called blooms. So let's say you wanted to have your character have a little bit more life in terms of lighting. You can go to the asset library, and there's a great material in here called Bloom. There it is, called Bloom. You hit import. The Bloom gives you a bunch of errors at start, and it looks scary, but it does work. You just got to poke around with it for a little bit. So let me do exactly that. I'm going to fill the screen here, and we're going to poke around with the Bloom tool for a second. So the way the Bloom tool works is it takes a 2D projection and then blurs it out based off of the highlights. And then you can set that blur to an additive layer, like a blend mode of screen or add or multiply, to create a nice little glow effect. So I'm going to turn off the little warning label, the info card, and I'm going to turn off the placeholder objects they gave us. And then what I do is I duplicate my 3D object that was tracked. In this case, the 3D body tracker. I'm just going to right-click on here and just Control D it. Control D to duplicate. So we have two of them that are right on top of each other. And then I'll take just one of them and change its color output, layer stack, to bloom. And now we have a bloom layer. and you don't see anything yet because we gotta adjust some things. So if I go to the bloom edit me and turn on bloom only, oh, I don't see it. I think I screwed up something. What did I do wrong there? Bloom. Wait, I think I screwed up something. I did wrong there. Let me set this back to default for a second and temporarily move it to the side. Okay, so now we have two characters again, and then what I do with one of them is basically bloom it all out. So I'll go to the default object. Actually, I don't want to bloom out the one with facial tracking because that one I spent. I want to show that one for real. So let's move that back into place. But I do want to move the one that doesn't have facial tracking so that we could do something cool with it with the lighting effect. All right, cool. So this one on the left doesn't have any whatevers. All right, so with that, we go to our default object in the null and then change the default to bloom. And then we go to our bloom editor, and that's not it. Where is it? Go to our bloom editor. Oh yeah, there's a whole node graph in Lens Studio that you can play with too. If you're not a coder like me, you can play with these nodes. So it takes a floating parameter, divides it, it mixes it together with scale XY coordinates on a UV plane, and then it splits those vectors, multiplies them. Wow, a lot of math. I don't know what I'm doing there. So let me get out of this mode. I just wanted to get to these little sliders. Turn on bloom only. I think I'm doing something wrong. I don't know why I can't get this to work right now. Normally this would work right now, but right now it is not working. Might be because we have too many cameras. Oh, bloom, place below all objects in hierarchy. Okay, I think that's the issue I had. I think this is on, yeah, this is below all objects in hierarchy. And then go back to the default bloom editor. I don't know why I'm not seeing anything appear here. We should see our bloom in action. Okay, I forgot how to do it. Watch out of the lens size. Oh wow, we're over the lens limit, so we can't even do that anyway, even if we wanted to. All right, thank you for reminding me. I'm going to delete the bloom because we overdid it with the file size. We went way over the allowance. Don't you need to apply an emissive material to the model? Yeah, you could do that too. There's a lot of different ways to do what you're describing here. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways. So let me just go ahead and delete some stuff. I'm also going to go to Object and save this. And then I also want to optimize my scene by deleting stuff that we're not using in scene so that the file size, because we're still over the limit by a lot. So I'm going to delete all the bloom resources, and I'll delete all these other portraits. We're not using portrait skin segmentation. We're not using hair segmentation. And then we can go to edit. There should be an optimized project. Optimize your lens project by removing unused resources from the disabled objects. So I'm going to hit optimize. And then we go to project info, see what the new calculated size is. Lens size exceeds maximum allowed size. A maximum allowed lens limit is 8 megabytes. How much over are we? Still, it says, let me just update that real quick. Okay, well, we're well over it. So you can resize the texture to minimize the size. That is true, but I already published one of these. I'd rather not crush the number, like the size of that. But I see what you mean. We might not have a choice. Oh, Oh, look at this. The other character is still in here. Oh yeah, let me get rid of the other character. We so don't need that anymore, I think. I'm a little scared of hitting the delete button on it, but let's do it. Right click, delete. All right, cool, we're still working. Oh, the normal maps you said are really heavy? I can get rid of them. All right, let's recalculate the lens size. It should be less now. Ah, we're just 0.5 megabytes over. All right, what else can we delete? Skin. Is there a way to organize all the... I wish I could just see all the assets in one spot and like their corresponding size. File. What happens if I hit publish? Okay, I want to see the breakdown. Like, what's the heaviest? What's the lightest? Is this fully working? Just deleting as much as I possibly can now. What is this bar background fill? Lambert, transparent. I mean, these are really tiny file. Slider mask gradient, slider. Wait, we don't need this. What is all this stuff? Get out of there. Oh crap, we did need that. That was the lighting information. Yeah, we're running up to the limit. Oh, yeah, 0.8, 0.5 megabytes. All right, I think you're right. We probably have to delete some materials, and I didn't want to do that, but we've hit a wall. Definitely hit a wall. I'll delete these slider masks. I don't think we need this. It's data. Get out and get out and get out. Okay. Huh. The file size here seems pretty light now. I'm not totally sure why it's having troubles. At that point where I'm hitting some more errors than not. If you save your texture as a JPEG, they will reduce the size. Okay. I think there's no way around it. We do need to, like you're saying, we need to reduce the texture sizes. So we'll do that. We'll do that now. Let me grab my fully working character with the materials. Don't need to apply for, yeah, textures are probably huge. Yeah, they are. I was trying to put as much quality into them as possible, but you know, there's a limit. They have a limit. They've increased the limit, which is great. It used to be half of the size, but I still find myself getting close to that limit on a daily basis. All right, no way around it. Cool. And then I'll reduce the texture size. You got me. Where is it? Substance Painter. Another program, but I have a lot of tutorials on this one. We'll go into more detail. I just want to quickly fix this thing. This is the quality that it was looking like, in Painter. I love all the shadows and stuff, but we don't get to have this level of quality in filters yet. But I think we will. I think we definitely will. But anywho, I'll export the textures at a much smaller size. Let's see. Right now, I had them at 2048. It's humongous. Let's just do half of that. So that's at 1024. Still looks fine, actually, even at 1024. And then let me go to the eyes. I'll set the eyes to maybe 512 instead of 2048. Wow, so even at 512, the eyes look fine. Maybe I can go even less. Let's set the eyes to maybe 256. Yeah, that actually looks great, even at 256 not gigabytes, 256 pixels. Let's do 512 on the skin. I don't like 512 on the cheetah fur. We lose too much resolution. So let's maybe just keep that at 1024. And then I'll keep the eyes at 512. Oh no, at 256. And that actually looks pretty much the same. And it's about maybe like half as much space. Oh, I didn't hear the answer. It lagged. How long does it take you to complete these designs? Oh, to fully complete these designs. The shortest ones I can crank out in like 8 hours. Longer ones, a couple of weeks. It depends on the complexity of the model and of what it needs to do. I design my characters based off of the function they have to serve. So if I know in advance what kind of motion they want, that changes the length of time that the character will take to develop. I'll always find out what movements they want beforehand, because it changes how I would rig it. Okay. This model is retextured. I'm going to go to File, Export Textures, and we'll choose JPEGs this time. Let's keep it even smaller. And we'll save it at the resolution for each of the texture sets that we set. I'll make a new folder called Bored Apes. Call this Tiny Materials, Tiny Mats, Tiny Materials. We got Tiny Pizza, Tiny Pasta, Tiny Mats. And export those. Boom, here they are. These are the tinier, much tinier images. We got our textures. Super tiny. Let's go back into Lens Studio now and replace with the tiny pizzas. Back into Lens Studio, I'm going to go to my textures for the body. There it is, materials. And where's textures? I see meshes. Where's the textures? Let me do PNG. .png. Where's it? Textures. There we are. Textures. Why can't we see this? Huh. Oh, here they are. I called that one Please Work with Eyes Default. And this was Please Work with Eyes Base. Wow, we didn't even have our normal maps in there. This was just base color. Deluxe, your life says, do you do commissions based on 2D art as well? Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, Paul Gray. Yeah, you said 2048, damn. Yeah, because I wanted the quality to be as high as possible, but that was stupid. It wasn't optimized, so that was bad practice. Let me look for those objects. I'm going to delete both of those textures, so let's get rid of Please Work. Cool, so that texture's gone, and then let's delete the other one. Great, so now we have no textures in the scene. Let's refresh it just so I see if it's changed at all. It should have changed. Oh my gosh. Now it's at 6 megabytes. It's still heavy. It's almost 7 megabytes. Geez, what is the heaviest stuff though? Those were the main textures. Okay, well, whatever. Let's replace it. So I'm going to go to my material for my body and go to my texture base material, and we'll import our thing from files. We'll go to the Bored Apes under Tiny Materials. We'll grab that skin texture and hit OK. Oh crap! I swapped that with the eyeballs. Whoops. Let's swap that with a different one. We'll go to From Files, go to the eyeball texture, hit OK. Awesome. Then we'll go to Map 2, set this one to the body. All right, great. And then let's refresh our file size. 7, ooh, still heavy. Still 7.28 megabytes. Still heavy, but we still have a little space there. So I'm going to try to plug in another material, a normal map, into the fur. That might be too heavy, but hey, I'm going to try it. All right, got a normal map in there, and let's refresh the file size. We're really pushing our luck. It's at 7.75, where you're just shy of 0.25. He says poses and duplication of the default mesh, they have the same texture, that's why. Duplication. Select the material, then select the base. Select the material, then select base texture. I did. Material and base texture. And he said poses are duplication of the default mesh, and they have the same texture, that's why. Oh, wow. A pose is actually a whole new model? Maybe that's why they don't advise you to make too many blend shapes. That makes a lot more sense, because the scene I thought was pretty light, but you're right, the poses. We have a lot of poses. So we could delete some poses. Will that fix the problem? Can we delete poses in Lens Studio, or will that break everything? Will that break the whole world in half in our scene? Let's find out. Okay, there's not an option to delete, so I guess you would have to import them in less, but I'm fine. 7.75 megabytes, not going to push my luck. That's a lot. We'll leave it at that. Said save a backup. Oh, you got it. I'll save right now. All right. I think we're about wrapped up here. I'm gonna end the stream. Hopefully you learned all that you need to know. And we got a fully rigged character. It's optimized. And we got a little bit of facial animation in here now. We have full body support. Just moving my mouth around. Oh, you said they're under default mesh? Under default mesh, what is that? Under default mesh. Oh, these ones. Oh my goodness, all of this stuff. What is all this? Let's get rid of all this garbage. Oh my god. Wow. That was a lot of heavy stuff that was just hidden there. Thank you for finding that, Buna. Let's refresh it and see if we have any luck. Oh my goodness, that was it. Wow. You just gave us 4 megabytes back. Jeez. Look at that. That's so much more space you just gave us. We were way over 7.75 megabytes. Then deleting all of that garbage that I had hidden literally got us like 4 megabytes. It's like a whole new filter. That's like you got us a whole new filter. So nice. Okay, that's why I had it as 2048. We were able to support that before this. But now that that works, I'll bring in the other textures. Because I had that working before when I published, but I didn't have all those pose morphs before. Wow, good to know. Because that was the old way of doing pose morphs. So you had to bring in a whole new model, which is just cumbersome and heavy and inefficient. So great, we got that working. I'll bring in some more lights now. I'm going to add a rim light and make it gold. Or pink, or gold, or blue. I haven't made up my mind. Maybe we'll keep it in the orange gold spectrum. Great, and then let's add some reflections. Go to simple reflections. We'll add in a material in there under textures. I'll actually import a new texture now. Echo Park has some good. I'll just do a small 256 import and grab a specular reflection in there, and then reduce the intensity. Just adds a little bit of life to the textures. Hello. You can now use high resolution texture. Oh, you know it. Yeah, we have so much more resolution now. I'll swap out the my texture. I'm gonna delete the old one and replace it with a high quality texture now. So let me go to Bored Apes, go to materials, grab that 2048 texture, baby. There we go. There we go. So we get a lot higher resolution on the fur now. Ah, so much better. Ah, feels good. And then we can probably, let me see, let's take a look at the file size, update it. We're at 4 megabytes right now. Whoa! Now we're at 9 megabytes. I don't know what I did wrong there. That was a weird. Is that really 9 megabytes? Okay. I guess we can't use that texture. Is it really? Oh yeah, no problem. Thanks for tuning in and learning with me. I wish they had a way to sort in here by file size. And the fact that they don't have that is kind of weird to me. Wouldn't you want to see this in order of file size so that you just know what needs to be tweaked? Wow, that went up to 9 megabytes that fast from just from the pretty texture. Oh, I wanted the pretty texture. All right, well, we'll go back. I'm gonna delete that high quality texture, replace it with the low quality one. And then, oh, well, that's a kind of cool Bored Ape. Looks like it's got the orange glow. Let me just see how that fixes anything, hopefully. Geez, that goes back to 3 megabytes. Okay, so it's like an exponential difference. We can't have pretty things in this case. We can't go prettier than 1024. So I'm not gonna ask for more of it. It's gonna break it if we do. So that's that. We're not going prettier than that. So let's go back to our materials under our rig, and I'm just going to replace it back with its uglier 1024 texture. It's okay. It's okay. Only you and me are going to know that that's not the highest quality it can be. But in the future, I think we will have that ability to have a high quality texture in here. You know, ideally, we'll get a future where we can put some 4K textures into here, like we can with USDZ. That will look really sweet. But for now, I'm down with this. So, anywho, let's wrap up. Thank you so much for tuning in and learning with me. Hopefully, this was useful. And I'll keep this up here. Please share it out with folks that are interested in the XR space. I really want you to share it with more genders and more people with diverse backgrounds than yourself. The reason why is if we want the metaverse to be really cool, I think it needs to be a lot more inclusive and have stories and experiences that aren't from the same kind of people who've shared stories and experiences in all the other forms of media before this. So I really encourage you to share this with folks from different ages, folks that have different genders, and folks that have different cultural backgrounds than yourself, just because that makes it a lot more accessible and makes the future metaverse so much better. Because if we do that now, that means the experiences that are going to get built in the future will be vaster. We'll have more options, more experiences, more approaches, more ways of solving problems. And that's always better. So please share this with people who don't normally have access to high-tech stuff. That we need more inclusion, just because it actually makes a better metaverse. It's logistically practical and functional to be more inclusive. It's not just nice. It's actually it's better. It's a better metaverse. So join me with that goal. Make it a better metaverse. Share it with people that aren't normally a part of the picture, and you'll be crafting a better, funner metaverse for everybody. Okay, I think that's about it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. That's the full process. That's how we go about bringing in a custom sculpture from ZBrush, rigging that thing up inside of Cinema 4D, doing the facial rigs as blend shapes, and then using AI to remove our bodies, and using facial tracking and body tracking. That's it. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Hopefully you learned a bunch. Let's make the metaverse really sweet, So I'm serious about this. Please share this content with other genders and other cultures that normally aren't a part of high-tech creative spaces. Because if we don't do this, that's bad. We're going to have a crappy metaverse, one that has the same kind of images, influences, stories that but we're sick of that stuff. We already have plenty. We have reality for all that. Let's not make the metaverse just a copy of reality. It should be improvements on it. So let's. I'm serious about it. Like, if you really think about it, who in your contacts on Instagram that are not the same gender as yourself would love to learn this and could add a lot of value to the XR space. XR, by the way, I keep saying it. There's like 2 different terms for it right now. I've been using it lately with the term cross reality. The X is like replaceable. You can replace the X with A, so augmented reality. You can replace it with V, virtual reality. You can replace it with S, sonic reality. So cross reality creators are designing across different platforms. There's also extended reality. That's another interpretation of the X. And so I really want you to share this with people. I'm making this content free because I want to see a wider range of people and experiences be a part of the metaverse. And I really want it to be special and important for everybody and to add value to it. And I think that's only going to happen if we actually take very active steps. Like, it's not going to happen automatically is what I'm saying. Like, we actually have to be deliberately sharing it and bringing up people that normally aren't brought up. And it's for the metaverse. I want a really cool metaverse. Don't you want a really sweet metaverse? Like, I want the best metaverse. And in my opinion, it can't just be the same people telling the same old stories and just making the same experiences. So I'll leave you with that thought. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can follow me on Twitter and on the Instagrams and on TikTok and on Snap. There's so many places. So find out what you like and join me over there. And yeah, it'll be really fun. So bye for now. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everybody. I don't have my piano right here. I was gonna say I'd play you out. Yeah, I don't have my piano in this room right now. But there we go. I'll dance you out. Let me zoom in a little bit closer here into the preview window. Actually, yeah, if you're ending here, please see the people that are in the room right now on YouTube and the folks that are here on Instagram and follow them, because these are the leaders, I think, in the XR space. They're here. I'm literally jumping around in my apartment. I think we have people underneath us, but they haven't complained about how much weird noises I make all the time yet. So I'm going to keep jumping around. All right. Thank you all so much. This is the reminder to please share on Twitter specifically. I think would be pretty sweet. And LinkedIn. If anyone's on LinkedIn, I think that would be great. If you know any people from a diverse background, culturally speaking, or from different genders, you should also share it with them. And also different age ranges. It would be really great if the metaverse isn't just designed by everybody of the same age, because then we'll make a ageist metaverse that only caters to the interests and needs of like a very narrow demographic. So anyone that's older or younger that has interest in the space, they should be welcomed as well. You know, that's my message there. All right. So thank you so much, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. I should get some theme music or something. Maybe I'll work on that this week. Thank you. Bye bye.